right, here we are again.
Yeah.
So weird. No fucking shit for that, but whatever.
I know. You were laughing at Sandra. What does it say? I can't read it.
Sandra knows that a girl can noodle too.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Of course, girls can also noodle.
Yeah.
Oh my god. David June says, Tom got my shirt in yesterday. Looks badass.
Thank you.
Wore it to work and people were loving it. Awesome.
Yeah, which one was it? The big Pliskin one?
Yeah, we just mailed that other day, didn't we? Wow, that was quick. What day was it?
I don't remember what design it was. It might have been the big Pliskin one.
I can't remember either.
Yeah.
We did like a shit ton of them at once.
Yeah, and she must be talking about Hanna Barron.
Like catfish noodle.
Yeah, catfish noodle. But I don't know what got her on that subject. It's been a long time since I was talking about.
I don't think it was. I think it was just like. I don't think it was the last show, but it was only a couple shows ago. It might have just been like the Friday night show.
All right.
It was recently.
I can't remember everything I fucking say.
That's true.
Yeah, not when I'm sober. Drunk, I remember everything.
I don't know about that. You have some
That's
kind
the
of
story I'm going with.
I was gonna say. I was like, do you have some kind of like opposite thing where it's like you're drunk and you remember everything? Yeah. Everyone else forgets shit when they're drunk.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. All right, it's Wednesday, everybody. And look, I cut my hair yesterday. Now I got a hawk.
Yeah, I cut it.
I didn't put it all the way up, though.
Yeah,
I did tease it and fluff it a little bit.
Show them this side. Show them this side.
Let me show this side.
Yeah.
Which one's my better side? Well, neither
They're
side.
the same.
Neither side's good. It's a trick
the
question.
same.
Not my hair and my face.
They're the same.
Not really. Everyone's got a better side.
Yeah.
That's not the first time I've had my hair like this. I used to have it all shaved underneath up to my crown.
It's a mohawk with a Chelsea.
Yeah.
On the front. She didn't want me to shave it right here. I was just going to do it with sideburns.
Well,
like
remember, I used to have just this little bit right here.
Yeah,
I don't know if we were
sideburn.
doing the show. I used to have just that.
Yeah.
And then this was all shaved.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I thought it made my head look bigger.
I don't think so. That looks good, though. They both look good.
I mean, you know. And I felt like it would be good to, even though I don't have to work like a regular job anymore, thank fuck.
Yeah.
I still thought it would be good to be able to just like put it down and nobody would be able to see the shavy part. Although honestly, I'm undecided whether I want to shave, because now it's like it's a classic kind of mohawk where I still have hair here.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of thinking I might go back to just it all being shaved.
Okay, it's all the way around.
I'm not really. I don't know. I haven't decided.
It looks good like that, if you ask me. Okay. It's not a big difference. That's only an inch deep, an inch wide.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't leave much back here.
It tapers into a point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just because it's so much cooler, and then there's like less hair to fall out and be all over the bathroom floor that we have to sweep up.
It's funny how much hair that was. Just those two sides.
I couldn't believe it. Well, I could believe it, but then I'm always like alarmed when I see it.
Yeah.
Like, just this little bit that he cut off. It was just like this. It was this big ball. Like that. I have so much hair, you guys. Yeah. I don't know where the fuck it comes from. I cut it
out of your head.
Well, duh. I know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just that like every time I wash it, every time I brush it, every time something like that, like a whole bunch of it falls out, and my hair is just like all over this fucking house. Seriously, it's like not even funny. Yeah. But it never seems to get any thinner.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe from now on I'll keep it shaved. It is like much. I mean, it's a pain having to like maintain it because it looks shitty when it grows out. But it's kind of better than having just this big fucking heavy lump of hair.
David's saying it was the Tyrell shirt, same one this is. Yeah,
okay.
That's one of my favorite new designs. I like
that did come out nice.
Yeah, it's good in the club. I've worn it to the club several times.
Yeah.
Tita says nice necklaces.
Thank you.
Esther says,
it's two different ones.
Esther says, let the shenanigans begin. Those shenanigans going to happen. I'm just kidding.
Shenanigans.
Yeah.
We were just we were just playing with the blood pressure machine like before it started.
Yeah. Tita said that fucking haircut looks like a cross between a goth queen and a Wakandan warrior S.
All right, I'll take it. But yeah, like I said, I've had it kind of like this before, but I don't know. We were talking about it at the club on Friday or Saturday, and I was like, I got to do something with this fucking mop. It's like driving me fucking crazy.
We started season 4 of Spartacus. It's good. It's good, man.
Yeah, we watched the first episode and then part of the second one, and then I fell asleep, and it was just, I didn't mean to fall asleep. I was sitting up against all those zillion pillows we have, and I was just like, and then like I woke up to Tom being like, well, hey, what and like asking me something about a plot. I'm like, dude, I fell asleep. I have no idea what you're talking about. Like I missed like a bunch of stuff. Like what you said when I woke up, you were asking.
I said, what's she doing to him? All right, look.
You asked if she was sounding him, and I was just like,
I think
what?
She was.
What did I miss?
I think she was.
Holy crap, I missed something good.
Yeah.
So
they introduce you to Marcus Crassus, and these are real figures out of fucking Roman history. Mm-hmm. They played a big part in the Roman civil wars later on. That brought Julius Caesar into power. But Crassus shows up. And they kind of establish him as a good character. He was kind of a good dude. He was just a rich dude of lowly birth who fucking bought his way into the royal class, basically. And that's really who he was. And then who shows up as a young Gaius Julius Caesar, or Julius Gaius Caesar. And he's got a beard and everything because he's just come back from his long war up in, I guess it was Thrace. Where was it? No, it wasn't Thrace. It was shit. They mentioned it.
I was dozing off.
Yeah, they mentioned which war it was. It wasn't Gaul. But he's in that kind of an opposite position. He's got this badass fucking family name, supposedly, like descendant from fucking Venus and shit. His mama descended from Venus and his dad descended from, he's kind of a deified dude, but he was broke. They didn't have any money, and he had money, but he kind of lost it. But his family was poor. Anyway, they're now, there's one part where, Julius is fucking trying to sling his dick around like he did. He was like that, He was like that when he was young. He was like that when he was older.
A dick slinger.
He was dick. He had that bitch. It was a .45 caliber fucking dick in the holster, and he'd sling that sucker out. Anyway, he made a move on fucking Gaius's fucking slave girl who did in the bathtub,
Okay, see, I must have dozed off during that scene, right before that, because I don't remember that.
Crassus comes in. He's like, whoa, hold on.
We gotta back it up and watch that part again.
Crassus comes in, goes, hold on, and he goes, oh, I didn't know she meant anything to you, type of deal. It turns out that's his girlfriend, and he's fucking he likes her more than he likes the wife. But later on, his dad deploys Crassus fucking has to go off and deploy his army. And fucking Julius is sitting on a chair, and he's got some slave girl down there, and she's got a fucking long, skinny blade of some sort. She's down in between his legs doing something. They don't show what he's doing. He's back there kind of like, like enjoying it with pain. And you see some blood dribbling on the ground, but you don't know exactly what she's fucking doing.
That's what it sounds like he's doing?
Yeah, it sounds like she was sounding it. You guys don't know what sounding is.
Esther says sounding isn't something you see on TV much. I don't think I've ever seen it on TV, honestly.
Looks like she was sounding him hard with like a file or something.
Damn.
And you got to be a tough motherfucker.
That's some hardcore shit.
Yeah. He might have been a cure for some kind of VD.
Maybe we're like maybe our time in the fetish scene is like making us think that. Right. Maybe there's like a much easier explanation, but that was just like the first thing we went to.
They were rodding him. He was rodding him out. He might have had VD or gonorrhea or the clap or something. But he was, like that, fucking dealing with it. But he looked like he was kind of enjoying it too. Gaius, his son, comes in. He goes, "You got some strange enjoyments." That's what he said.
Okay, so maybe that was that. Okay.
Yeah, and he's like, and he just fucking laughed it off.
See, I didn't even see that because that's what woke me up. You asking me that, and I was just like, I was like, what? I was like, I was sleeping.
Yeah.
I was like, I missed that. We gotta back that shit up. But I was like, I was too tired.
Yeah.
But Camp Guy says, what if it gets stuck? Well, then I guess you got to go to the emergency room. I'm sure they've seen
weirder. Got a handle on it. It was like a knife, but it was like a spike.
I'm sure they've seen weirder. Seriously, my sister used to do billing for a GI clinic, and she used to like delight in telling us stories of like people getting stuff stuck up their butts, like that she had billed. You know what I mean? Super, super funny. And actually there's one, and I think I've mentioned this before, but there's one website or a blog or something, I can't remember what it is, but every year they do what did people get stuck up their butts this year, and like they go to some, I don't know what site they're getting this from, but then they show like the x-rays and everything of like people getting various things stuck up their butts, and sometimes the excuse for how that thing got up their butts, even though everybody knows how it got up there.
Yeah.
But some of the excuses are really creative.
Tila said she got 4 episodes in for Spartacus. Loving the series.
Oh, the first season?
Yeah. Loving the series. Great recommendation.
Yeah. We just started the 4th one, and you had actually...
4th season.
Yeah, we just started the 4th season.
Yeah.
And we have Amazon Prime, but actually we don't have the Stars add-on, so we actually had to pay $10 to buy the season.
Yeah, season 4, you got to buy it. Yeah.
Did we pay for season 3?
No, they were streaming free with.
Maybe the season 4 was like so new that they're still like charging money for it.
Yeah, the other ones you can watch them free with commercials.
Yeah, but for some reason
it was commercials, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember seeing commercials.
By the time you get to season 4, you got to see it anyway.
Well, that's what I think that's what they're counting on, because the first 2 seasons we watched was free with Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And then I can't remember the 3rd one, but this one you had to have the Stars add-on.
Yeah.
Or you had to pay $10 for the season.
Yeah, Tila. By the time you get into episode 4, you're already knee deep in fucking Batiatus, fucking Lord Batiatus, the master of the lutus and shit.
That dude was such a good character.
Yeah, and then his wife, Lucretia.
Yeah.
And then
those two are like, honestly, them two and that really treacherous blonde bitch.
Oh yeah,
she was fucking great.
That was that Praetor's wife.
She was so fucking evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Glaber's wife.
Conti.
Oh my god.
Conti
McCuntface.
Yeah, Conti McCunt.
But such a good character.
Yeah.
Oh my god, she was such an asshole.
The acting is fucking fantastic. And that whole thing, and all those dudes are on fucking test, man. They're either fucking on test or they're on fucking D-ball. They're all. Everybody's in pretty good shape. And then they got fucking, what was his name? Odomaeus, fucking Dottore.
Yeah.
Their trainer. The African guy. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah, he was an awesome character too.
He's probably seen him by now. I think by episode 4, you've already seen his ass.
Yeah, when does he show up in season 1? I can't remember.
I think it might be episode 2.
Yeah, 2nd or 3rd episode. Right. I'm pretty sure. Like I said, I don't even think you find out what his name is until later, because everybody just calls him Dottore.
Dottore, yeah.
But yeah, you find out what his name is like, because I didn't even know what his name was, because that's what everybody called him. And that's just like his title. Tila says, speaking of which, is that Richard Gere story true?
No, I don't think it is.
It's not.
No.
I don't know why that started about Richard Gere.
The Rod Stewart story wasn't true either.
Wait, which one are we talking about?
This is back in the 70s. That Rod Stewart got rushed to the hospital for some kind of drug overdose. They pumped his fucking stomach out and it was filled with fucking semen.
Oh, yeah. I heard that, but I don't think it was about Rod Stewart. I thought it was about somebody else, but I can't remember who right now. Yeah, so it's just kind of like one of those urban legends that gets attached to different people, depending.
It was pre-internet, so, you know what I mean? You couldn't fact check anything.
That's true.
You couldn't, you didn't know the source of the rumors either.
And then somebody said it, and you were just like, that sounds true.
Happened. Yeah,
somebody put a hamster up their butt. Why not?
Yeah. Well, I heard the hamster up in the ass from fucking Robin Williams when he was playing Mork. They told the same story about his ass too. Remember Mork?
I said, that's not. I mean, I think Richard Gere is the most popular one, but I've heard it about a couple other actors.
First
as well.
time I heard it was about Mork from Mork.
See, so, like, urban legends are fascinating. Yeah. I have like a whole fucking. I have a bunch of books about urban legends back there. Jan Brunvand, if you haven't like heard of him, he's like a sociologist or like somebody that studies that type of shit. And he's written like a whole bunch of books.
Yeah.
The fucking, what is it called? The Vanishing Hitchhiker, The Mexican Pet. The one I have is called Curses Broiled Again, because it has the urban legend of like people that have gotten cooked in like tanning beds and stuff, which is also not true.
Yes.
I was going to mention Esther recommended to us on the Patreon page. She sent me a message on Patreon and said that there was, because I had done a review of the movie The Invitation, which if you're not a patron, you'll be able to see it tomorrow. It'll go public. And I said I really, really liked Dinner Party Horror, which that is. And she said, there's another one like that you'd probably really like called The Perfect Host.
Yeah, and
and it's on Tubi, so.
People are having problems ordering the cookbook. Go ahead and show the cookbook again, Jenny.
Yeah, just in case you guys weren't here yesterday. We just got the proof yesterday, and I approved the proof today, so I'm not sure how long it'll take, like, for the page to go live or
It
whatever.
is a hardcover. It looks good.
Yeah.
It's in full color matte photographs on every page. Boo. We went with matte instead of the gloss because gloss, well, it's in a kitchen. It'll get smeared anyway, and it would make the book about $75.
Yeah, it would make it like twice the price.
It's not worth it.
I mean,
and it looks great in matte.
I'm trying to like find a good page that I haven't showed before.
Yeah.
There's fish tacos.
Jenny said there might be problems ordering it right now because it might be age restricted. She might have to enter in an age of what to allow people to buy it.
Just because it's got a lot of swearing in it.
Or it could be because it just posted.
Yeah, it could be because of that. I gotta check later. But yeah, so it all kind of looks like that. Using our 13 o'clock colors, our little kind of brown and aqua there. But yeah.
Got a bunch of different sections. The only thing that didn't turn out like I thought is I wanted it to be in English measurements or American measurements. I think it's English measurements, probably the same. American measurements, yeah, because they're metric now. And I wanted it in metric. But to do that would have made each little thing about twice the size as it would have, and we'd had to redo a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I remember you saying that. Like, I did remember to do Fahrenheit Celsius. Like, I did remember to do that. I think I remembered in every single description. I hope. I checked like a million times.
You don't have to, so the temperatures will be metric.
Yeah. But it's like
not the measurements though.
But other than that, I remember you saying that like after you told me that, I was just like, oh shit. But then like when I was putting the book together, I didn't, and then I was just like, oh shit, I forgot.
Everything's in cups, teaspoons, and tablespoons.
Sandra says it has swearing in it. Yeah, imagine that. But you know what I mean. You know how we can't talk without swearing. Camp Guy says Jenny is a genius creative to do all that stuff. Well, thank you very much.
On the upside, you're a lot of times measuring cups have both English and metric on them. I don't know if they're like that in other countries, but in this country,
ours do, like the Pyrex ones.
Yeah, the Pyrex glass ones.
And I'm pretty much sure they sold those everywhere. Because sometimes we get recipes, and I'm like, what, 40 millimeters? How the fuck much is that?
They're doing it in milliliters and shit.
I mean, they taught us the metric system in school, like when I was in school in the 70s. Yeah. And I kind of knew it at the time, but then like they didn't really keep up with it. So I have a rough idea, but not like... Mr. Roboto, thank you very much. How long till you hit the convention circuit for the fans?
We haven't been asked to a convention in a while.
We did a horror convention a couple years back, and I did a couple of panels and shit.
Pandemic and everything kind of put all that shit to an end.
We've talked about like one of these days. Maybe we should do like a tour and do like meetups or something instead of like a convention.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
It'd be hard to do that.
It would, yeah.
Right.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
It would only work for locals, and you know what I mean. A local crowd would be small.
True.
But if we like went on a trip, we could have a meetup at a location.
At wherever we were going.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like I said, I don't know. Because one of these days I'd like to go back to St. Augustine, and maybe we could do like a ghost tour and shit like that.
Something like that.
Because they got a fuck ton of ghost tours.
Mm-hmm.
And, like I said, the reason I did the one that I did was because it wasn't walking tour. It was trolley and my feet were tired. So I was like, well, I'll do this one because it's on a fucking trolley, so I don't have to, like, walk around. But, yeah, somebody asked me, somebody asked something, and I don't know where it went to. Yeah, I don't know. That's what I wanted to say. Is that you were asking me about doing, like, having people on the live stream sometimes. Oh, yeah. Like, especially, like, on the Wednesday shows, like, maybe people could phone in. I kind of looked up how to do it. There's several ways to do it. Every single way looks like a giant pain in the ass, but you can't, like, you have to go... As far as I can determine, you have to go through like a third party
it had to be like a
plug-in. Yeah, it would have to be either Zoom or it would have to be like Skype or what's that one that I did the other day? StreamYard. I did another show like with that one. And the problem with that, well, particularly with StreamYard, is that if you only have a free account, you can only stream for 45 minutes at a time. Yeah. And you can only have 5 or 6 people at once.
So you'd have to pay for it.
Yeah, it's like a service.
And if you pay for it, can you do your intros and outros through it?
See, I'm not sure because I have to figure out how, because there's so many plugins, you have to figure out how to run it through OBS. Mm-hmm. Like you can do it through here, but I don't know. I'd have to figure out like which. Probably Zoom would be the best because most people use that.
That's what they're using, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure you can link OBS and Zoom together. Like you can run Zoom through OBS and then stream onto YouTube and maybe onto Facebook at the same time. But I still have to like look more into it and decide what I'm going to do it. Because if we do it through Zoom, then people that want to be on the show with us are going to I'm going to have to send them a link and they're going to have to like get in there ahead of time so I can kind of like get their little cameras in there
has to get on,
and get
online.
Everybody's like, so I'd have to do a lot of shit ahead of time.
Yeah.
But, it might be something we could do like in the future, just for, like I said, for a sidetrack show, if some people want to be on,
right.
And they don't mind being on video and being on the live stream later. Like I said, I'll probably use Zoom. I feel like most people use that nowadays. So I'll have to look into that, like how many people I can have, how long I can stream. Shit like that, because I already have Zoom on my shit because I've done some other shows on that. I have StreamYard too, but like I said, I think StreamYard with a free account, I don't think you can go more than 45 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like at a time. And I don't think you can have more than 6 people. And even if you pay, I think you can only have up to 10.
Okay.
So.
Well, it wouldn't be any more than like another 3 or 4 people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Zach said Discord is also an option.
Yeah, that's true. I should probably look into that also. And I got to write that down because I was writing down like all the different ones, and then I was thinking, even if you go through OBS, sometimes you can go through OBS, but you'd have to download like a third-party plugin, like Virtual Cam or NDI or something like that. So, Camp Guy, I'm too old for more techno now. I had a .com website for my family business in 1996, and I could barely work a smartphone now. I feel you. Because it just seems like, I'm 48. I try to keep up with shit because I have to, keep up with all of this stuff. But it's hard because like stuff changes all the time. And
we bought things we haven't even used that yet. Well, like we have a video camera right there. We've never used it.
I know, I still haven't used it. Yeah. I mostly bought that because one, I had one and a little one and it broke.
Yeah.
And I didn't have one that I could carry around. But two, I got that one so I could like film Pookie.
Yeah.
Doing cute shit, and then she could have her own channel. But
Never even used it.
But I haven't had time to do it yet.
Yeah.
I've used it a couple of times, but not really. So we were gonna give Pookie her own show. Or, at least like some videos of her doing cute shit. I mean, we could give Beijing her own video, but she usually is just like, meh. She doesn't want to do anything.
I wanted to put a camera on my helmet.
Well, yeah, you were talking about that.
Yeah. It's cheap now.
Yeah.
Never got around to it.
It's all, I mean, that's the thing. I like having all this stuff and I like knowing how to do all this stuff, but sometimes, like I said, when I was looking up, how to do a live stream with a bunch of different people on it using OBS, which I already have. And it's like, so I'm watching a video of like how to do it. And it's like 10 minutes in, my eyes start to glaze over. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, this looks really complicated. It's like, I'll be able to figure it out. It's just sometimes when I first start like learning about it, it just sounds really daunting. And I'm just like, Jesus Christ, I don't have time to like figure this out right now. But if I set aside a couple of hours and figure out how to do it, I'll figure out how to do it. Because I did like actually kind of teach myself to use OBS. I had no idea how to use this shit before.
Still waiting on UPS.
Yeah.
They should be here. Let me go check.
Oracle says, it's the internet. Cat videos are always in style. They are. I mean, how can you not like cat videos? Shit, I just posted on the 13 o'clock Facebook page today, that guy that does, what's his cat's name? Owl Kitty? And he does all those movie parodies, except with his cat in them. And he did one today that was a parody of Jaws called Claws. And he made like a trailer for Jaws, but it has like the cat instead of the shark. And it is like super, super funny. That cat is fucking adorable. And I like too that sometimes they'll have a video where they show kind of how they do it. It's all like green screen, obviously, and how they get the cat to do like different things and be in different positions and stuff. And it's just like so funny. Did you see that? I posted it on the Facebook page today.
What's that? See what?
You remember I showed you Owl Kitty? That little black kitty that they put in all the movie trailers?
I've seen it before. Right, yeah.
He just put one up today that was of Jaws. So it's like a trailer for Jaws, but instead of the shark, it's the cat.
The cat.
So the cat's like coming up like really big, like coming up on the boat, like turns like eating the fucking shit. It's like super funny. And it's funny the way they edited together like some of the quotes from the movie and everything like that. And changed a couple of them too. My favorite thing was that the scene where, you know, Quint is sitting in front of the chalkboard and there was like a drawing of like a shark on there, but it's like it was that, and he was there talking, but on the chalkboard was like this big huge cat. A drawing of a big huge cat with like this little tiny person. Like it looked like the cat was gonna eat it. It was like so fucking funny. Yeah, Dodo Rescue Channel always has cute videos. Yeah, I really like that channel too. That always has like really sweet stuff on it. What was the what was that one this morning? Oh, this is I was watching because the show Friday night that we're gonna do is about feral children.
Oh, this is interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a whole shit ton of them. So I was watching some documentaries about it earlier.
The Russian girl that was raised as a dog. Is she gonna be on it?
Yep. Yep. I mean, there's a lot to choose from.
Did she ever recover?
So I can't remember her specifically.
I don't think they recovered too well. I don't think they ever even learned how to talk.
It depends.
Yeah.
It depends what age they were when they ran away or got lost in the forest or whatever happened to them. Depends on what age they were rescued. Depends on a lot of different things. Some of them never really learn to talk. Some of them do, but they're always kind of like impaired. Or there was one woman, I can't remember her name, but, you know, we'll get more into this on Friday because there's a whole bunch of different cases. But she was actually raised by, I can't remember, what fucking animals was she raised by? Some kind of monkeys, I think. And she actually, like, grew up and she kind of went back to normal life. They took her back to her village or whatever, and she lived there for a long time. But, like, when she was older, she was like, fuck this. And then she went back and lived in the forest because she didn't like living around people. I mean, and in some ways I was like, yeah, I can't kind of blame them, I gotta say. It's like, the monkeys were nicer to me. I'm going by. Oh my God. But yeah, but there was a video that came on after those documentaries that was about people that were rescued by wild animals. And I thought that was like really cool. There was one case in particular that there was a little kid, and I guess he was only one. And his dad, he lived with his dad, but his dad was homeless. So I guess his dad was like looking for something, like he was looking for like for some cardboard or something like that. And the little kid wandered off, and the dad was freaking out because he couldn't find him. And then later on, like they found the kid like a long time later, and it was like freezing cold wherever it was. I don't remember where it was, but it was like really, really cold. And this kid had somehow gotten in with a whole bunch of like feral cats. And the cats had, like, protected him. And they, like, when he was sleeping, they'd all lay on him, like, to keep him warm and shit. It was the craziest thing ever. I was like, aw, hero kitties.
Well, don't tell all the stories. We'll save them for the...
Well, that one wasn't a feral child one. Okay. That was just kind of more a kid that wandered. Because he wasn't raised by them. He just, like, wandered off, and the cats, like, kept him warm for a few days until the people found him.
Well, it turns out that, what was that, Tomorrow War, whatever? That thing's doing really well. Like... It's getting millions of hits.
Well, yeah, I saw that it had really good reviews on Amazon.
Yeah. I figured it was going to do good.
Esther asked, have we ever done a show about Eastern Penitentiary? We haven't, but you're not the first person that's asked me about that, actually. And I have to write that down because...
Which one was that? I probably have heard of it.
I'm going to write that down. I don't think we've done so many, but I'm pretty sure we haven't done one on that. I try to, like, keep everything straight, but, you know, it's, like, really difficult. But, what was the other one that I was going to say? Oh, because remember when we were watching, we were watching that, one of the Jeremys, the Jeremy Wade show?
Yeah.
Mysteries of the Deep.
Okay.
And remember they were talking about that one diver that I think it was a baleen whale, like, picked the dude up in its mouth.
Oh, yeah.
And then they were wondering, like, well, obviously he wasn't trying to eat him because they can't really eat anything that big, so, you know. Or if it was just an accident, or if he was, like, trying to save him from a shark. There was actually one story on there. There was a woman, and she was a marine biologist, and she was diving, and a whale actually was acting really weird around her, like, trying to, like, block her and stuff, and she's like, what the fuck is, like, this whale trying to... And it turned out that there was a tiger shark, and it was, like, coming at her, and, like, the whale was trying to, like, block the tiger shark from getting to her. So apparently that's not the first time that that's happened.
Evidently, whales and dolphins will do that.
Yeah, they had a couple stories about dolphins as well. Yeah. And one about a beluga whale that saved somebody that fell into like a tank at a thing and like dragged her up by the arm like to the surface because she fell in and she couldn't get back up.
Whales have gone to people for help too. Like they'll get caught in a net and they'll try to get up next to a boat and try to get people to come get the net off of them. You seen that one?
Yeah. I think you showed me that.
Yeah, it's happened several times.
They're not dumb.
Whales caught in a net try to take it back to a boat, and just roll around in front of the boat trying to plead with the people to cut the net off of it because they can't get out. And then dude jumped in the water with a knife. It's huge. He's like, whoa, hold on, and he's crawling across it trying to cut the net off of it. Took him a long time. He eventually got the net off of it. And that whale jumped out of the water in front of the boat 6-7 times.
Yeah, you showed me that video. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yep. Jumping in front of the boat.
And then I saw another video, too, where there was, like, a woman, and she had a pet Vietnamese potbelly pig. Remember, there was kind of a rage for, like, having those as a pet. But she had it as a pet for a while, and something bad happened to her house. I don't remember if she, like, fell and broke her hip or she had a heart attack or something like that. And her pig, the pig's name was Lulu, I remember that. The pig ran out the house, went into the road, and laid down in the road until, like, a car stopped. And then when the car stopped, the pig was like, come on.
Yeah.
And, like, made the person come inside the house. Yeah. And then the person, like, called. Because the pig couldn't call the ambulance, obviously. She didn't have any thumbs. But you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And, there was a couple there was one with a black bear, too, that had, like, protected a kid. But, and gorillas do that, too. Like, because a couple times kids have fallen into gorilla enclosures and, like, the gorillas.
Remember the Harambe incident?
Yeah, they talked about that, but they were talking about another one, too. That,
like, scooting that kid through the water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think they should have shot the gorilla, though. I don't think that gorilla was hurt.
Well, no, that's why everybody was, like, freaking out. Yeah. Because there had been other incidents where kids had fallen into gorilla enclosures and, like, the gorillas were, like, trying to protect them, or at least one gorilla was trying to protect it from a female would try to protect it from the males.
I think he just didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
He didn't know. He had the kid. I don't think he was going to hurt the kid. He just didn't know exactly what to do.
Yeah, he's like, well, shit, man. Now,
got it now. What do I do?
Should I take it over there? Yeah, he was just thinking about it. Well,
I mean, I can understand that they felt, the zoo felt liable, and they would have been liable if something had happened.
Like, I get that, but
that gorilla didn't look hostile to me.
No. That's what I mean. And generally, from what I know of gorillas are generally not all that hostile unless you're really, like, getting up in their fucking faces. They seem, like, pretty chill. Most of the time.
Saw one video on YouTube. You can find it. A chimpanzee, which are much more dangerous than a...
Yeah, I'd be way more scared of chimpanzees than gorillas.
Chimpanzee was drowning in the moat in the zoo. And one of the zoo guests jumped in the moat, grabbed that chimpanzee and took it to the bank and put it up on the bank. It was coughing. The other chimpanzees were looking at him like, "What are you doing, man? That was weird." And then he swam back out in the water. And they said, "Why did you do that? You know what I mean? Weren't you afraid that chimp would drown you?" He said he didn't know what he was going to do. He jumped into the water and saw it struggling and drowning. And it turned and looked at him, and he said they made eye contact, and he could tell that it was saying, "Help me," and he grabbed it, and it didn't struggle, and he took it.
I think most animals, at least most mammals and stuff, seem to understand when someone is trying to help them. Yeah, they do really seem to understand.
Confusions can happen, though.
Well, yeah, I know that, and like it does happen when
I got bit by a cat. Who knows?
I was just gonna say it's like even our cat, like she flipped out, and he was trying to like get something off her foot that had gotten like all tangled up, and she like flipped out and bit him on the hand because she was scared. So it does happen, and obviously if that had been a chimpanzee, your arms would be gone now.
He said he made eye contact with a chimpanzee, and he said that there was understanding, that there was an understanding was made.
Oh, I don't doubt it.
He said he couldn't describe it. He said he could just tell by the eye contact.
Chimpanzees are kind of assholes, but they're not dumb assholes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They seem to understand. Well, isn't there, and like a lot of monkeys too will like save their like other monkeys if they're hurt. Like there's that one remember that one monkey that like fell on the like electrified tracks or whatever, and and then they try to like they were like
he was
trying to
on
revive
his chest to get him revived.
Yeah, he was doing like
he
fucking
got him back up.
Yeah,
and he got back up and he's shaking him.
He's like, "You're all right, man. You're all right. Holy shit. We thought you were dead."
Yeah. Burned the hair off of him in a couple of spots.
Those weren't chimpanzees. Those were like some other
monkey.
those like some other kind of monkeys.
Like a capuchin type monkey.
Yeah, I think it was a capuchin.
Or a baboon type thing.
Were they? Were they?
I think it might have been baboons.
I thought it was littler ones, but I could be wrong. Maybe
somewhere in India.
Yeah, it was India where they have those like monkeys running around. Sandra says, "I'm addicted to tiny kittens." I always like that. I like that too. They have a 24/7 365 live stream with rescue kittens, mom cats who give birth to kittens, and you see them grow up. It's adorable. Yeah, it is really good. I like that.
We were watching that Korean one. Remember the Korean one?
Yeah.
That was all sad.
Well, a couple of them were sad because a couple of the stories, I mean, a lot of the stories had good endings. It was just kind of like, it's this squad, I can't even remember what it's called now, but it's kind of this squad, and they get called in like, hey, we found like a whole like bunch of kittens like trapped in a wall or something like that, like in an abandoned building, and they'll like go and try to rescue them. But so most of the time it's happy, but like sometimes, you know, a kitten or two don't make it, and it's like I just was getting too upset and I couldn't watch it anymore. It's like, I don't know, that's like really funny to me. I can watch stuff where like people die all day long, but it's like if something bad happens to a cat, I'm just like, nope, and I just like turn it right off. Can't watch it. And I was on Facebook today, and my sister, her dog just died. And, I mean, she knew it was going to happen because the dog's been sick, and she's had that dog, like, forever. And I was just kind of like, so I went on Facebook and I saw that, and I was just like, oh, I can't today. I just can't. I can't. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if in my old age I'm starting to like animals more than people, but I mean, I've always liked animals more than people, generally, but I'm just, I have a hard time, like, watching it in movies, even when it's fake. Like I said, kill all the people. Yeah, cut their heads off. I don't give a shit. But I was like, don't even like look sideways at a cat. Or I will like freak out. I'm just turning the movie off. I'm just saying right now. Yeah, Gramthars Hammer said that he just watched Tomorrow War as well, and was saying about Mary Lynn's pouty face.
Yeah.
And then Tammy said, I saw her in an interview when 24 was on TV, and someone mentioned her resting bitch face.
Who?
Mary Lynn's.
Who's mentioned it? No, I said, who's mentioned it?
Gramthars Hammer mentioned.
Yeah.
But then Tammy said that she's on an interview with her when 24 was on. Someone mentioned her resting bitch face, and she said, I can't help it. That's just my face, yeah.
Yeah.
There's not really a lot you can do about resting bitch face, really. I don't think that I have resting bitch face. I think I have resting, I don't know. I always thought I had resting sad face, because it seemed like sometimes when I was just like sitting staring off into space and like not thinking about anything in particular, I'd always have people like, you know, at work or whatever, and they'd be like, what's the matter? Yeah. I'd be like, nothing's the matter. That's just what my face looks like. I'm sorry if my face looks like I'm fucking bummed out about shit all the time.
Mary Lynn she came from a Russian-American family. And she has this, and everybody in her family had that look. Her dad kind of had that, her mom kind of had that look. When she was always kind of, her lips would kind of pout, and her mouth was always kind of turned down. Like that. And then her eyes were always like, And she just had that look, even though she was fucking super funny. She was funny and real goofy. And in between telling jokes, she'd go in between, and it was just her mannerisms, and that's in most of the characters.
Well, that's why the phrase "resting bitch face" is a thing, because some people's face just looks like that when they're not angry or sad or anything. That's just like what they look like.
But when it's somebody that's telling jokes, it's funny because it'd be some funny shit, and it goes in between each one.
How'd you like that?
and she's fucking funny. You know?
I love it.
Yeah, Gramthars will tell you.
I didn't realize, because I never really looked at her that closely, because I didn't watch 24. You know, I kind of vaguely knew what she looked like because of you talking about her, but you had to point her out to me in Tomorrow War because I didn't remember what she looked like.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was kind of like, oh yeah, she does have that kind of pouty.
Yeah.
She has a real pouty face.
When she was younger, it was even stronger. She was even cuter, She still turned out to be pretty cute, but she was when she was, 16, 17, 18, she was even cuter. It's funny. She was on the swim team, too. She was real fit. And she was a good actress. Well, kinda. Kinda good.
Ooh, shade.
Oh, no. Grandpa will tell you. Me and Steve were getting all the leads. Christy Watson would get all the leads because we could sing and we could dance, too. I wasn't as good a dancer back then as I am now. I could sing better now than I could back then.
You are a good dancer.
Later on, I got bigger roles when I was in Brazil. I did El Gallo in Fantastics. I carried the whole damn show. I had like fucking 6 songs. And it took me a while to get fucking timing down. Rhythmic timing for lyrics and shit. And you'd kind of fucking freeze up. And, it's not like today where everybody's used to being in front of cameras. Back then, we were doing this in front of live audiences. And a lot of times just practicing it in live was stressful.
So you admit you did get stressed out. So it wasn't just like me being...
No, but it went away a long time ago.
Yeah.
I lost that a long time ago.
I never got over it.
No, once I did the Fantastics and did like 2 or 3 shows. I did one show. The first live show was kind of stressful, and then second and third night was easy. I was having fun. I was like, oh, I could do this fucking for years. I could do this same role over and over again. Because you got really well oiled and real comfortable with it. Gramthars will tell you.
Well, you're a lot more outgoing than me, also.
Well, you had to be that way, or you would never make it in drama. That's the way it was. And that was the skill. That was the challenge. It was the same thing. And Gramthars will tell you. That's why I didn't have a problem with, like, a lot of people were worried, oh man, those jocks, they're so fucking bullies. They didn't bully me and the people in the drama too much because they saw us doing shit live on stage, and that changes the game. Because see, they do live shit on a field. Yeah. So it's kind of like live sports. Yeah. And they're like, oh well, they might be in movies one day, and they were right because Mary Lynn and fucking everybody, a lot of other people became YouTubers or did other things in fucking, in the art world. So yeah, that's kind of where they came from. That's kind of where they come from. It starts in high school. So. Never had a problem with them. Now another thing is that I think a lot of people, according to Sophie, now when kids go through high school, they're all the same. They're like generic basic bitches. They don't have jocks and fucking punk rockers and fucking. They don't have. Well, the cliques aren't as clearly delineated. Yeah, they're not clear. They're all the same. They're all just basic fuckers, and. For us, you know what I mean, in our generation, some of those jocks had a reputation for being bullies.
Yeah, I knew some.
Well, the reason why they were bullies is a lot of them were on fucking steroids.
Or they might have just been dicks.
Steroids. Steroids are fucking makes you a dick, And
some people are dicks naturally, though.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you. Gramthars knows exactly who I'm talking about. I'm talking about specific people.
Some people don't need chemical assistance.
The ones that were the real dicks had a lot of chemical assistance. And by the time they were out of high school, they were fucking monsters. Big. And they were fucking crazy. Because you got dudes basically still going through puberty, basically, and they're fucking taking real aggressive steroids, and they're taking them incorrectly. In an era where they weren't really quite sure how to do it, when they had incomplete information and incomplete medical knowledge, they were taking shit that they would never take today. And if they were to take it, they'd also be on a bunch of mood stabilizers, and they'd be on fucking all kinds of things like Clomid to keep their systems running so they wouldn't get all fat when they get off of it, because that's what would happen to them. They'd get huge, and then he'd say that dude a couple years later, and he'd be a big old fat motherfucker. Like, what happened to that dude? Well, I don't know. Nobody got old. What are you talking about, man? He's 22. What do you mean he got old? Yeah, it's because they didn't know about coming off cycle back then.
Well, we didn't know shit about shit back then. Nobody knew shit about shit. We were just
be
kind of
all
like
jacked up on synthetic.
we were winging it.
Yeah, be jacked up on synthetic fucking improved versions of testosterone that make you fucking dick. Shut your fucking production down. And then when they stop taking the drug, there's no testosterone in their system. They got fucking...
And their balls shrivel up.
Yeah, it's there, and they just fucking get fat.
Balls shrivel up like
weak.
raisins.
Fat and weak, yeah.
What you were saying, though, about... we got somebody named Gary Lennon came in. I love you guys.
Thank you.
We love you too, Gary. Yeah, what you were saying about, like, high school being different nowadays. See, this is something that we were thinking about when we were at Mannequins on Friday or Saturday. Well, it could have been Friday or Saturday because we went both nights, unadvisedly. And we were there with the kids, you know, these two, like, children. They're not children. They're like 19, 20. But they're young enough to be our kids. That's why we call them kids. And we were wondering, because we started talking about Pretty in Pink. Because the DJ played Shell Shock by New Order, which is in Pretty in Pink, in case you didn't know. So it just reminded me of the movie. And then I was wondering to myself, I wonder, does Pretty in Pink play the same? Like if somebody that just came out of high school or somebody that's in high school right now, if they watch that, would it be weird to them or no?
I think it would be weird.
I think like we talked about this when we reviewed Heathers, because the thing about Heathers was that came out the exact year, like it was about high school when it came out the same year that I was graduating high school. So that was like kind of like, I mean, obviously that movie's like exaggerated. But because nobody dressed like the Heathers at my school, that's like ridiculous. But you know, the way it was done, it was a black comedy and they were doing it on purpose. But a lot of the stuff that they did in that movie, and I was just kind of wondering, I was like, do people still watch like John Hughes movies, like younger kids, and still get it? Or do they think it's like a weird relic? That's what I wondered about.
I don't know. When I was in high school, I watched Rebel Without a Cause and didn't get it. Couldn't understand it. And I think that you showed a high school senior something like Pretty in Pink today, they probably wouldn't even understand it.
Although the thing about like a lot of the teen movies from like the 50s and 60s, for example, is that one, those actors are not teens, and a lot of them were not even in their 20s. A lot of them were in their 30s and 40s. Yeah. So that might have had some like weird shit too. But yeah, that's what I'm kind of wondering. But we talk about this a lot though, where I feel like there's not as much of a difference between the generations as there was back then. You know what I mean? Back then, the teenager was a fairly new concept. Yeah. And there was like a huge generation gap where it's like, so older people are like the parents of, you know, somebody that would relate to the James Dean character, like totally did not get like where their kid was coming from. And I don't know if that's still the case, at least to that extent.
Well, if you go back and watch Rebel Without a Cause, you see James Dean being angsty and tripping over something. You don't even know what he's tripping out about. He sees his dad's cooking a dinner. His dad's cooking some kind of meal, and he had an apron on. He goes, "Dad, the apron! Oh, Dad!" He just loses his shit over the apron. How parents are failing him, and I could don't understand what the fuck he's talking about.
Because his dad had an apron on.
Yeah, and he's like, "What's the problem, son? I'm cooking." And he's, "Oh,
yeah, I don't want grease to like splatter on my clothes."
Oh, the humanity! No, it was some kind of.
Like a gender role thing, or what is it? Like you're becoming my mom, or what?
No,
what
he
was
had
that
a mom.
About? I know, but it's like the fact that dad was wearing an apron. Did that like, you know, was that some kind of like weird? I don't know how sexuality works anymore. I don't really get how.
I don't know. Go back and watch the movie.
That's what I mean. I don't get.
Tell me what it's about.
I don't get where he's coming from with that.
It had something to do with that. Parents were not living up to their proper role model I guess I didn't understand it.
Well, see, that's what when you said that he was getting upset with his dad wearing an apron.
Yeah,
I thought that must have meant, oh, dad's taking over mom's role and I don't know how anything works anymore. That was my perception, but I don't know if that's true or not. I didn't grow up back then. I didn't grow up.
You're asking the wrong person.
I'm not asking you. I'm just like speculating.
I can't answer it because I wasn't raised in that culture or that time, so I didn't have the cultural.
Yeah.
I didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Because the dad was like, "What are we talking about? I'm just cooking." Oh my God, it's terrible.
Which, yeah, is what everybody would say nowadays. What the fuck are you like getting upset about? I'm wearing an apron.
Parents are failing. They're not like they were back in the days. You know what I mean?
Well, now I gotta watch. Now I saw it, but it was a long time ago. And I don't remember.
There's a bunch of little cultural things in there that I couldn't figure it out. And then he was unhappy about something, but you really can't tell. You really have no idea what the fuck he's complaining about. He's in an upper middle class family.
Well, he's a rebel without a cause.
Yeah.
So he doesn't have anything to whine about. He's
and then there's
just
a younger dude. There's
whining.
a younger dude and some chick, and then he's daredeviling around in these cars, and I think he gets killed. I think he gets killed at the end of it. He runs the car the car off a cliff. And then his death is kind of meaningless, but you're supposed to take some kind of lesson from it.
Man, I need to rewatch that.
But I didn't really understand what the message was.
I haven't seen it since I was a teenager.
I didn't know what the message was.
Teen angst. Yeah, I guess it's just general teen angst. You don't understand me.
Yeah, it's like that.
I mean, I get that. Like, all teenagers have that. Forever.
There's no point to the movie. I didn't see any point in the movie.
Well, they were just trying, I guess they were just trying to convey, like I said, generalized teen angst. Like, and, you know, like, that's why it's called Rebel Without a Cause. He didn't have any reason for being that way.
Maybe
everybody's being that way. Maybe I'm thinking about it too
Maybe
much.
you guys have seen the movie recently.
What else is there?
I haven't seen it recently. As a teenager, I didn't comprehend it. I was like, older people were telling me how cool that movie was. That was like a movie of their generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How cool that movie was. That movie was like the movie of our generation. Boy, that movie was meaningful to us. Kind of like Pretty in Pink would be to you, right? I saw the shit and I was like, this movie's fucking garbage.
I don't get it.
It's like this movie. You know,
Tila said, I remember that movie with James Dean. He thought his father was too soft. Ooh, so I was right about that because he was wearing an apron. Yeah. And his mom ran over the dad. Okay, so it was all like, the gender roles are reversed and I can't handle it, which is like, that's hilarious. Hilarious. But anyway.
What was funny is that I didn't even notice that lesson. It just seemed like a normal.
No, that was the first thing I thought of when you thought, because I cast my mind back to 50s.
Yeah.
Because I've seen all those like terrible like educational films like from the 50s, and very much like it's a very woman thing, like to wear an apron and like run around your house in pearls and like doing all the shit with your kitchen and whatnot. So the first thing when you said that he got mad about him wearing an apron, I said, oh, because he thinks he's like turning into a woman.
Yeah, I guess. But
that's what he was upset about.
Yeah, but
that's only because, you know, I've seen a lot of stuff.
But he's looking at that from a 50s.
Well, that's what I said. That's why I looked back.
I didn't see that at all as a teenager. Yeah. I didn't know what he was talking about.
Well, yeah, you wouldn't nowadays because that's like no one would care.
Right.
Like, so it's not really something that.
Yeah, the dad didn't care. He's like, I'm cooking.
I only thought about it because, like I said, I've seen all those 50s, like those terrible like 50s educational films.
Yeah, he was just cooking something.
So I knew that he was what he was getting at. I will say
the relationship between the man and between the mother and the father, I didn't see anything unusual about it.
Yeah.
I don't think there was anything unusual about it. Just like they were just normal people.
James Dean was just crying.
I think the people that wrote it had weird definitions of way things are supposed to be.
Well, and Scott points out too, and this is what I was maybe trying to convey before, and I didn't really get across. But teen angst was a new idea in media then. Yeah, so I think that's why the movie is iconic more than anything, because that's really like the first time that had been portrayed.
I got you.
And like I said, I think that people, they didn't realize that there was this generation that was growing up that didn't really like, they felt like they didn't know their place in the world, and that was kind of like the first time that had ever been conveyed in a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There was another good Marlon Brando movie called The Wild One. He's a motorcycle racer.
Now that one I like. I like that one.
That one's a little bit better.
We saw that one not too long ago, actually.
A little bit better. Yeah. The thing is that they weren't that wild. They were just doing regular shit.
No.
They were just doing the regular shit that fucking dudes do. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what used to that's what cracked me up about like a lot of those 50s movies. Is like drinking people were just doing like normal shit, and everybody was like acting like it was this big huge deal.
Yeah, they're in the bar drinking and joking. And
oh my god, they're such miscreants.
Yeah, I won the race. Here's my trophy. You know, and then he's chasing a girl around, and this girl's fucking loving on this dude. You know what I mean? And that's gonna happen. And then, but he doesn't. And what's funny is that Brando, fucking, from what I remember, I haven't seen it in a long time. He was looking good, but he didn't even know how to fucking really act around women. I guess maybe dudes really didn't know how to fucking. They didn't know how to date. We're
an alien species, man. Haven't you heard?
Date. I was like, man, just fucking knock the bitch down, man. Fucking kiss her, man. What the fuck you doing, dude? You don't have to live up to anything.
Stop being so weird.
Yeah. Just put her on the back of the bike.
Just be regular.
Yeah. Take her out to the graveyard, man. Take her out to the graveyard. Stick her up on top of one of them fucking crepes.
Do some Return of the Living Dead shit.
Yeah.
All right, I'm down with that. But
she was up for it, from what I could tell. She was up for it, but I guess he didn't. He
didn't know what to do with it. He didn't know what to do with it. He
didn't see it.
Or look here.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's all tough, but he doesn't know how to lay down the pipe.
Well, like I said, I think
lay the pipe down. I'm getting to the point where I'm almost going to put a wig on.
You might have to put a wig on.
Let me get you that drink over there.
All right, good. Beatniks, man.
I'm sleepy, man.
No, you're not.
I know.
Knock it off. You're not sleepy. Yeah. Bring a blanket unless you like cold marble. Oh, yeah. No, that's a good pro tip for anybody wanting to do that in a cemetery. Beatniks, man. Yeah. What's that movie that was on Mystery Science Theater? It might have just been called The Beatniks. No, it was called The Rebel Set, actually. It's called The Rebel Set, and it was about some beatniks. Well, movie beatniks. And they get involved in this fucking heist. Is it train heist? Something like that. But there's like a beat coffee house in there. And that was like a fucking hilarious movie. What I was going to say is that one of my favorite 50s movies was the one with, god damn it, Mamie Van Doren. Girlstown. Yeah, it was called Girlstown. And she is some kind of like miscreant criminal. Not really. She just kind of has like a date with a guy, and apparently that's a big deal. And she doesn't have parents. So I guess she like lives with her aunt or some crazy woman. And so, and she's poor. So they kind of like give her a lot of shit. And my favorite thing about that movie is the slang that she uses. And I'm not sure if any of this slang was actually in common use at the time that this movie came out, or if they just made some shit up, or if it was just some kind of... Because I feel like a lot of times these movies are... Girlstown. Oh. I feel like a lot of times these movies are kind of written by people that either just heard the phrases once or really don't know how slang works or something like that, and they just want to make it sound like hip and cool, so they kind of go overboard with it.
Kind of like that movie Last American Virgin.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing. I'm like, but nobody talks like that. Just please stop. But it's like, I don't know. And for some reason, like Girlstown, it was like kind of charming. Because she just went so overboard with the slang, and it's just like, I watched it on MST, and at one point Crow's just like, stop slanging, what are you saying? And it's like, that's what I mean. It's like nobody could understand like what there was like all the fucking slang terms she was. I was like, nobody uses that much slang, come on.
There was this movie that they used to play it on cable. I was a teenager when I saw it. It was called The Last American Virgin.
I remember that's a classic.
Made by Canon, wasn't it?
Oh, was it? Oh, it might have been.
It's a classic today, man, but when it came out...
I saw it on cable a million times when it first came out.
When it was
always on.
People were like, what the fuck? And it's a movie about a bunch of teenagers, but I guess they're teenagers far away in another universe or something. You don't know any teenagers that are exactly like this. And all kinds of stereotypical shit happens through the whole fucking movie. They even show a girl getting pregnant and getting an abortion. Just... They do that in Fast Times at
Ridgemont High, too. Yeah. Which actually, Fast Times at Ridgemont High was a lot more more to life, I felt like. Well, that was more like normal people.
I think Fast Times came out, and then this was a ripoff of it.
A ripoff of it, yeah.
And here's the thing, is that the movie was written by two Israeli Jewish dudes that had just moved into Hollywood, and they're in their 50s, and they don't know anything about being a teenager. They made all that shit up. And fucking, I saw some interviews on it. Some people that were in it, they were reading the script and like, what the fuck is this shit?
Who the fuck talks like this?
Yeah,
nobody.
These dudes wrote it, and they just wrote it based on just stereotypes
and other movies
and other movies, and just they just totally pulled that thing out of their ass. It just was, there was nothing realistic.
I feel like there was a lot of kind of gang movies like that, like in the 80s too, where it's just like everybody,
like this?
And they all had like the same outfits, like they all have uniforms and stuff. I'm like, what gangs have you guys hung out with? Nobody does that.
No,
come on.
That's like some shit you see off of fucking, that's like something you'd see like one of those dance troupes.
Yeah, right.
No gang would be caught dead in that shit.
Of course not.
Like fucking...
Shit, man, if you're in some hard-ass gang... Shit, man, we can't even wear the same shirt on the show, and we're not even in a hard-ass gang.
Remember that fucking movie, The Warriors?
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking of, actually,
people would fucking... I remember people thinking, when we were in fucking... We were like in 3rd, 4th grade, people talking about, oh, man, how fucking rough... How that movie was hard. That's hard. You see that shit now, man. That shit... man.
I'm like, they all have fucking uniforms.
What's that?
They're all
wearing uniforms. Nobody's got any guns.
We're all gonna. Should we all have to coordinate our
they're all
outfits
fucking
for
like
the
doing
day?
dance moves and shit. It's like a Michael Jackson video.
Yeah, that's
it's just
exactly
like a Michael
what it is.
Jackson video. And you're like, this is a gag?
'Cause I'm bad.
Yeah, that shit would not fly today, man.
No, you'd
Shit
get
would
your
not
ass
fly.
beat in 5 seconds.
You get shot up.
Yeah.
MS-13 would get you and fucking chop you up with a machete. All right.
David June says Tom already has a wig on. Jeez, yeah, I know.
Oh yeah, it's going.
We're
down.
only an hour in, and he's already got a wig on.
The old concept of what a gang was, just you know what I mean. Well, they don't actually kill anybody, you know. That's not. That's
what are you talking about? Sure they do. But in the movie,
the movies, no, they don't kill anybody. They don't even have guns.
We just have rumbles.
Yeah.
And drag races.
Yeah. They're just good kids. They're just bad good
and
kids.
dance offs.
Yeah, and dance offs.
If it's West Side Story.
Yeah.
Well, they had rumbles in West Side Story. They were kind of fighting with knives and stuff. They got killed in West Side Story, right?
Yeah, but
so they were kind of hard. So they were more hardcore than the Warriors. Although I haven't seen the Warriors.
Yeah, the Warriors, they had bats and shit like that, but nobody ever just popped out with a fucking shotgun and started blowing people away.
True.
Yeah.
Now, I will make an exception for the Droogs in Clockwork Orange because they had coordinated outfits, but they were also terrible sociopaths.
They were also raping people.
And raped and killed many people. Yeah. So, it's not a, it's not a general rule. Well...
It's by accident.
Well, they beat the shit out of lots of people, and they didn't care if they died.
Yeah.
And that woman just died, accidentally.
It was a different environment, though.
True.
It was, you know what I mean? It was kind of communist, and they didn't have any guns. I don't even think the cops had guns.
Yeah, I can't remember. Yeah. That's
cops
true.
didn't even have guns.
Yeah, they just like to...
It was supposed to be like a communist version of Britain.
They like to beat the shit out of each other's... Yeah. Tila says, Warriors, how the hell are you going to fight wearing roller skates? Yeah, see, that's what I always wanted.
That fucking shit was lame.
Fucking gangs.
Yeah.
But like I said, you didn't really... I mean, the kids that were watching these movies in the early 80s... They grew up in the fucking suburbs, man.
Yeah, they didn't know anything.
I mean, they watched Steven Spielberg movies and whatnot. So it's like you'd see one of those and you thought it was real illicit. Because that was ooh, that's real tough, real gang.
The first movie that I saw that fucking had gangs in it and that I thought was realistic and was what seemed to be pretty fucking tough was Escape from New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
David June asks, wasn't there a mime gang in Warriors? See, I think there might have been.
I think there was. It was just...
I get it confused with Fame, though, I have to say.
Really? You go back and look at it, and they look like fucking, gay dance troops. Every one of those gangs.
Danny Rolling Ghostface says, those gangs were about as scary as Meatloaf pretending to be a biker in Rocky Horror Picture Show. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Thank you, Liam C. England through to the Euros soccer final on Sunday. Come on. Okay.
Go head on with your sports ball. Look at Pookie.
Sports ball.
Sports ball. Yeah.
One thing I wanted to say about Pretty in Pink before we got off that, like I said, now I'm kind of interested because I told the kids, you guys should watch Pretty in Pink and then get back to me and give me a report because I'm kind of curious as to what you can think. So we were what you think about it. And we were talking about it, and then I was like, one, Annie Potts' character in that, who was the older chick that ran the punk rock record store, was badass. I loved her fucking spiky ass hair.
She was the cutest girl in the movie.
One of my favorite lines of that movie was when she was talking to her ex-boyfriend on the phone, and she says, "Since when? Since I spent the night tied up in the backseat of your car." Yeah. And then she hangs up on him. Yeah. And then when she turned into a yuppie at the end, it made me super, super sad. So that, and also Molly Ringwald fucked up a perfectly good 50s retro gorgeous prom dress to make what is possibly the ugliest prom dress in all movie history. What the fuck was that fucking polka dotted bag she was wearing? Holy crap. That wasn't even in style in the 80s. I know she was all trying to be unique and everything, but Jesus Christ, woman. And all the shit she was wearing before that was actually pretty decent, and passable. I like the little hats and kind of the boho kind of shit she was wearing. It was cool. Then she cut up that really cool dress that Annie Potts' character gave her and makes it into essentially a shapeless bag. And I was just like, bitch, I don't like you anymore. Also, she should have ended up with Ducky.
No, T points out that one of those gangs was baseball players. I remember that shit.
That's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah,
oh my God.
A long time since I've seen that shit.
Yeah, I'd be real intimidated if I saw that.
And then the dude taunting him with the fucking bottles on his fingers. That was what's his name? You go, come out to play. Who's that?
Come out and play. Yeah.
Who's that dude? He ended up being a big star for a while.
Oh my god, we should do a movie retrospective on that.
What you doing, Pope?
Why are you trying to get in the closet? There's nothing in there.
Yeah.
You've been in there. You were in there earlier, and there was nothing in there. She thinks there's something different in there every time.
She thinks if she goes out that door, it's another outside. No, that's the closet, Poke.
There's nothing in there, Pokey, except like foam.
She's going, I gotta get in here.
And wigs.
Yeah.
The baseball
The fucking
furs.
warrior.
Yeah, see, Esther agrees. The prom dress was terrible.
The warriors.
Even back then, it was terrible. I don't really understand like why she didn't just wear it the way it was. It was like nice the way it was. It would have been totally cool because it was like, yeah, it was like retro 60s and stuff, but that's totally awesome. Yeah. I don't know why she had to cut it up and make it like, look, I'm wearing a bag.
Look, she's bagging. Okay.
Oh, Pokey. She turned around and she's like, me?
Okay, come here.
Can I go in the closet? Don't mess up the lighting too much.
Okay. No, not that one.
But open this one though.
Go on that one.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. She's like, but that's
she doesn't know where it opens.
She's not the same.
It's a sliding door, and she thinks it'll open in the middle. She's clawing at the middle.
Yeah, she keeps going.
And they go, no, gotta go to this one. And
she's like, oh,
okay.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Oh, now you're done already, huh?
She's like, that wasn't exciting as I thought it was. I think she's more entranced with the idea of what might be in there.
Yeah.
And then when she sees what's actually in there, it's kind of like disappointing. You know? It's just kind of like life in general. But she just understands that. Okay, talk loud, guys. I gotta go peel some shrimp. Victor just arrived. Hey, y'all. Hi there. Yeah, Camp Guy says Molly Ringwald was in the first draft short of Sling Blade with Billy Bob. Yeah, I heard about that. She like move to France later? I felt like she moved to France and then like she was in a bunch of French movies. I thought. We just saw her not too long ago. She was in one of the Creep Show episodes, like from the Shudder series. But she was in I mean, I still love Pretty in Pink. And what was the other one that was like a gender swap version of that? What the fuck was the name of that movie? The one with Eric Stoltz in it. Some Kind of Wonderful. That was also quite good. Because that girl that was in it that played Watts, that was the drummer, she was like she was super rad. I liked her.
Yeah, the dude with the bottles on his fingers, man. Who was that? You guys knew who that is. Drop his name in the damn comment section. He ended up being a famous actor. He was big in the 90s.
Shit, I can't even remember now. I haven't seen that movie.
He was an activist too. You know?
A long time.
He was like on par with Bono and shit. You know, like a
Bono.
Yeah. I call him Bono.
Not like Sonny Bono.
Like Boner. But he was like Bono. Fucking he was a damn activist and shit for a long time. I'm trying to remember that motherfucker's name. And then he just vanished. You're like, what happened to that guy?
Well, you know, you could look it up on Google.
Yeah, well, I have to get out of stream if I do that.
Oh, okay.
You know who he is.
Oh, I'm sure I do. I just can't think of it. I haven't seen The Warriors in like forever. He was in 48 Hours with Eddie Murphy. Wait, who was in 48 Hours? Nick Nolte?
No.
Shit. I can't remember either.
Okay, it's coming. I'm looking through the... Damn, this is a fucking huge cast.
What, The Warriors?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, there was like 1 million people in that movie. There were so many gangs in all their silly outfits.
Oh, shit. I must be passing it. I must be missing his name. As soon as I see it, I'd recognize his name.
Yeah, I can't see that. It's too small. I can't see that. I can't really see it.
Let me worry about it.
Let you worry about it?
Let me worry about it.
Your hair is just, it's killing me.
Yeah, it's doing its job. It's doing its fucking job.
Ooh, DJ, everybody's giving you hints. He was in VFW. David Patrick Kelly. Was that who you were thinking of?
No.
I think you passed over it. Yeah, Gramthars Hammer says, the gangs I worked with in Detroit...
Okay, yeah, I guess it was David Patrick.
Yeah.
I thought it was somebody else.
Yeah, okay. The gangs I worked with in Detroit never wore face paint. Just saying. Yeah, it seems like a lot of trouble. You know, to just go out and do gang shit. Like I said, to coordinate outfits and let's all make sure we're wearing the same thing. Team spirit, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was somebody else. I think the dude I was thinking about was actually in one of the Death Wishes, maybe.
Maybe that's why I didn't know what you were talking about, because you were talking about a completely different person.
Yeah, I was talking about a completely different person.
Okay, well that's...
They looked similar from what I remember.
Helpful. Okay.
What are you laughing at?
I was laughing at Fourth Throwdown's comment. High octane thrills as a group of people go home on the train. Yeah. I don't know, man. I do laugh, though, because it really does seem like in the 80s, a lot of the villains in 80s movies were punk rockers, or looked like punk rockers.
Well, you could pick on them without having to fucking become racist. That's what it is.
I guess.
You just get a white person, and he says, well, we can't have Elmer standing here. We need an urban white person. Oh, a punk rocker. They weren't urban anyway to begin with. Well, and in New York.
And the thing about it, too, is that they're like, oh, well, they look weird, and everybody will believe that.
Exactly.
You know,
that's what I'm saying. You're not going to
that they'll be assholes, even though 99% of all punk rockers and goths I knew were like lovely, lovely people.
And they were suburban kids.
And
middle class suburban kids.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah.
None of them were in gangs that I know of.
Nope.
Never knew any goth gangs.
Me and Gramthars fucking dated all the fucking punk rock girls from fucking Trenton.
That's right. They're like, you know,
they're everywhere, yeah.
Punk rockers and goths tended to be like very nice. That's why I always used to laugh when I used to see that in the 80s. Like that they always made them like gang members in movies. I'm like, I have never seen that in real life ever.
And the punk rock guys were popular. They were popular as punk rock girls. Remember, oh man, fucking Gramthars remembers Bill. I think his name was Bill Winger. Is that his name? Bill Winger. Remember him? I might have the name wrong. And then they had the kid with the black mohawk and the fucking leather jacket and the fucking combat boots and shit. I forgot that dude's name. He was a trip too. He's like a little Billy Idol dude. He's always had a fucking angry look on his face. Dudes were fucking with him all the time. But like the punk rock girls loved that dude.
Jason Badass asks, the heck is Tom wearing? That's his.
Don't worry about it,
That's his Michael Caine in the hand wig.
Don't worry about this shit, man. I got it under control.
Also a Willy Wonka wig.
Motherfuckers are trying to analyze. Don't analyze. Just go with it. This is the problem with life, is that people see things and they start asking questions. They start asking questions. They try to analyze it and put it into a box. Don't do that, okay? Just fucking roll with it.
Just be zen.
Just fucking, yeah.
Be in the moment.
The zen, true zen. True zen and enlightenment is recognizing the power and allowing things to remain fucked up. Like you see something, you could change it, but then you go, nah, I'm just gonna let it.
I'm too lazy for that.
I'm just gonna let it. I'm just gonna let it remain fucked up.
Well, it depends on what it is. Some things you don't want them to remain fucked up. Like I said, when our bathroom was flooding, you don't want to leave that fucked up because that'd be bad. No. Esther says punk rockers was the easiest to pick on. Yep, they were bullied when I was in high school. Me too.
Yep.
So those were, and I knew a kid in high school, and he was the loveliest. He was just a lovely, lovely person. I'm sure he probably still is wherever he is now. But he had big Robert Smith hair. He wore eyeliner. He's gay, but he didn't come out until later, so we didn't know that at the time because he was still kind of trying to date girls and stuff. Yeah. But man, he got his ass kicked all the time, and it was really sad because he was like the sweetest dude ever.
Yeah, Gramthars named it Bill Olinger. That's right, man. Bill was the man. He was the fucking man. I don't know if you know anything about that, but he was running game with all kinds of fucking punk rock girls, not only from Trenton, but also from fucking Woodhaven and everything. Bill was cool. Bill was fucking fun. He's fun to hang out with. And I want to say running game, but that's not really what it was. He just was like a tall, good-looking punk rock dude that knew how to fucking do the punk rock look right, and fucking all the punk rock girls from all the fucking surrounding neighborhoods fucking had shrines built to fucking Bill Olinger. Yeah, I remember him. And then the other one you said, the one we were talking about, was James Christie. That sounds about right. I think his name was James. I think I just knew him as James. James was the mini version of that. He got picked on a lot though, James. He had that fucking mohawk. But those punk rock girls liked him. He was funny. He sat next to me in one of my classes, and fucking, I wasn't a punk rocker at the time. Actually, I was fucking liked heavy metal at that time still, and I was like, "What's up, man?" He's like, "Man, fuck off." That's the first time I was. That's the first time I met him. Because, man, fuck off.
Well, I have to say that it got better later, but in the 80s, punk rockers and goths and heavy metal people really did not hang out together.
Yeah, no.
I hung out with a couple of heavy metal chicks in high school.
Yeah.
But they did not get my thing, and I did not get their thing. But we hung out together. You know
I think James realized I wasn't taking a piss out of him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
what I mean. Right. We did I mean, normally, I don't know. My group was kind of like diverse in the sense that we had some punk rock, we had some ska people, we had like some fucking goth people, and like everyone that was just kind of like weirdos kind of hung out together. But even then, like the heavy metal people, it wasn't like, it didn't really overlap all that much. Like a little bit, we weren't hostile to one another, but it didn't really overlap all that much.
Gramthars said he's a high school English teacher now. I don't know if he's talking about Bill or James. And Victor brings up fucking good thing. Victor brings up a fucking big problem that a lot of gay dudes have. He says, "I hate it when dudes think I'm gay when I'm having sex with them." I fucking hate it.
Isn't that annoying?
I understand
God,
that, man.
that's so annoying.
I understand that.
I get it.
It's jumping to conclusions, huh? Yeah.
Well, you know, it's all on the spectrum. Just don't assume things. Mr.
Yeah,
Roboto says,
okay.
"Why no goth gangs?" Honestly, the only goth gang I've ever heard of was from that fucking, that was a Cramp song. Sheena's in a goth gang? Or was it a Ramon song? I can't remember now.
When I was in high school, there were no goth gangs. Goth didn't really exist until... It didn't exist as a codified thing until I was already a senior. And
Yeah, that
really
was
wasn't and that wasn't a high school thing at my age, in my generation. That was a club thing. You had to be older.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's like when I was in...
It hadn't trickled down
When
yet.
I was in junior high in the mid-'80s, we had like the New Waver people, which were kind of like the proto-goth people. You had that going on. And we all kind of hung out together. You had the heavy metal people who hated us. And then you had like just the regular ass like jocks and cheerleaders who beat our asses all the time or made fun of us. High school, like I said, it was a little bit different because everybody that was kind of like, I grew up in Daytona, which is a little bit rednecky, but the school I went to was a little bit nicer. I didn't go to like a real trashy one. So we had some people that were into, I knew some people that were real into like hardcore, like Throbbing Gristle and Palehead and shit like that. You had some people that were into ska. You had people that were like old school punk rock. You had that kind of shit. And then you had like the goth people that were into like Cocteau Twins and all that kind of shit. And we all kind of hung out together just because we got picked on a lot. So there was a bunch of us that all like kind of hung out together. Thank you, Victor, for the Hurricane Kit Fund. Nice. I think that's probably going to pass us. It hit the Panhandle.
Yeah, that's far from here.
I mean, this morning though, like last night, I woke up at like 5 a.m. because I had to go to the bathroom, and like it was fucking pissing down rain. Holy crap! It was like so loud. But we didn't have a lot of storms, and even this morning, I couldn't even go for my walk because it was like pouring down rain, like at the time that I usually go. So, but we're kind of used to it. But it hit where Elsa made landfall is up by. Like, that was, like, up by the Panhandle, which is several miles from us. So we'll be all right. We just get, like, the edge of it. You all right?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. Wait till... Why would I not be all right?
I don't know. You're looking at me like you have that weird look.
I'm just drunk.
Oh, okay. Fourth Row Down says, we had a goth girl gang at my school. Ooh, sexy. I want to get involved with that. They were scary, but I got to know them, and they were lovely. That's what I mean. I kind of feel like, and maybe this is why this always happened in movies in the 80s, because... they looked like weirdos. It was very easy to other them and make them like all scary and shit. But honestly, if you talk to most of them were just like 99% of them were just like lovely, lovely people. Very intelligent, very knowledgeable, very like empathetic, just beautiful people. I really only have met and being in the goth and punk scene like for a long time. And I hung out with a lot of punks too, like back in the day, because my brother was in a punk band and I used to hang at all those clubs and stuff. 99% of those people, awesome. Just awesome people. Just really nice, normal people. Everyone's scared of them because they look weird, but most of them were nicer than most normal looking people that I meet. So, just saying. That's why I have kind of a distrust of people that look sort of normal. because I don't know what they're hiding. You know what I mean? If you look like a weirdo all the time, I kind of figure like all your weirdness is right there and it's on the surface and you're not like ashamed of it. And you're like going out in your everyday life looking like that. So right there's like a level of honesty. And, you know, so that's something that means a lot to me. Normal looking people, I don't know how to approach that. You might be a serial killer. I don't know.
She's exaggerating.
No, I'm just saying, have you ever seen a serial killer that looked like a goth?
No.
No.
Yeah, but... okay.
Have you ever seen a terrorist that looked like a goth? No.
Okay.
Nope. Normal looking people can blend in. This is why I don't trust them. Because you're not wearing your weirdness on the outside. So the weirdness is all inside. And I don't know what that weirdness is. It might be harmless, but might not be. You know? Might not be. Victor says, we had a Latino girl gang in junior high. They were just LARPing, but they just have fist fights at school every now and then. Sandra says, when a real hurricane comes, do you nail your windows shut and stuff like in the movies? I don't think we ever did that. Some people do. Like, some people have... If you have money, you can get hurricane shutters. And some people will put... You know, they have, like, these really hardcore, like, shutters, and they put them on, like, as soon as hurricane season starts, which is June 1st. Yeah, June 1st. So they'll put it up just in case. Most people don't do that, though. I don't see it a lot. What a lot of people will do, especially kind of, you know, if you don't have the money for hurricane shutters, because they are kind of pricey. But when you hear a hurricane's coming, some people will put like plywood and shit over their windows. Some people just put tape on there, but that doesn't do shit, so don't bother.
That's the era we're talking about. That's what it looked like.
Look at that kid in the background, looks like Robert Smith, except younger and cuter. Fourth row down said, you realize that most normal people at school are actually crazy. Oh yeah, I totally realize that. Everyone's crazy in their own way. It's just kind of like...
Then there was this action. Remember that?
Everyone's faces are white. I can't see that shit.
Yeah, you can't see it.
Yeah. That's like a very new wavy type of thing. Tammy says, I'm going to become goth and then a serial killing terrorist. Just so you be the first one. I've just never seen that. Well, because here's the thing that I tell, like, that we've talked about before. I said, have you ever seen somebody rob a bank with a huge, like, green mohawk? No. Why would you? Because everyone would fucking remember that, wouldn't they?
Check him out.
See, that's darling. I love that.
That would have been about 88, right?
Somewhere around there, yeah.
89.
See, I love that.
Right.
That's exactly the type of dude that I would have, like, fallen in love with in the 80s. Dude, there was a guy that used to work. He didn't go to school with me because I think he was a couple years older.
There's another one that the girls would have liked. Hold on.
I mean, look at that hair. That's fantastic. Yeah. That needs to come back.
Can't focus.
Yeah, everybody looks like they don't have a nose.
Yeah.
But there was a guy. I was in high school. He was probably like a few years older. He didn't go to my school. He worked at the mall at Mr. Dunderbox, which is like the German restaurant. And he was like, oh man, he had like the big hair just like that. And he was like all like skinny and knobby and pale and stuff. Oh my God, he was like fucking fantastic. I loved that dude.
Backwards in time.
I can't remember what that dude's name was, but he was super, super fucking hot.
Can't get the face. Gramthars, I know you're in there, bro. I'm going to take you back. Hold on.
And my cousin knew him. And so I was kind of like trying to tell her, it's like, hey, put in a good word for me so like I can go by there and like, fucking, you know what I mean? But I was a lot younger, so. But he was like super cute. Yeah, see, I mean, I like the big hair. I like the big hair.
Gramthars, remember her?
Yeah, you showed that before.
Yeah, I don't think I showed Gramthars.
Sandra makes a good point. She says, you know what all serial killers have in common? They aren't funny, and they can't laugh about themselves. Yeah.
They're not fully developed people.
Yeah, because there is something in... And you know what? I think she's kind of hit upon something profound there. There is something about a person that is not introspective enough to be able to realize when they're being absurd or when they're like being fucked up or whatever. Like it's almost like they don't have that capacity to like look in at themselves and be like, oh my god, I'm being ridiculous right now. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they don't have that facility to like be able to laugh at themselves, because people that can't laugh at themselves are like the worst fucking people. You know, I kind of feel like that's sort of a big thing that you have to have, like, to be a normal person, or at least a person that you want to hang out with.
No, Gramthars. That was Jean, man. Jean Petrowski. Remember her?
All right, I gotta pee. Mm-hmm. So take the calm.
Yeah. I was Jean Petrowski sitting in the parking lot, Trent High. All fucking punk rocked out. Hold on, let me see what this is going on. You were close. Not Jeannie, but Jean, yeah. Jean's still in Michigan. She got married a guy. I'm drinking Pinnacle whipped cream vodka. No, excuse me. Pinnacle coconut vodka and pineapple juice. It's good. Kind of like a stronger version of Malibu. I can't believe it's almost 6:30. See, Grandpa said something. I can't read it. Let me see. No, she's just like a normal. She's just like a normal mom. Let me go check the mail.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, he had like a package coming. Wait, who's a normal mom? What did I lose? Jason Badass says, "What you drinking, Tom?" Oh my god, I don't know. I could have told you, but I don't know. Ugh. What about Gacy? He was clowning. Yeah, but clowns are creepy though. Even back in the day before anybody knew that about John Wayne Gacy, clowns were still creepy. So I don't think that dressing as a clown is. And I don't think he dressed as a clown while he was doing the serial killing, right? I mean, you know. Jason Badass asked what you were drinking.
I told him.
Oh, okay.
The thunder's happening bad out there.
I know, I heard it when I was coming back in here.
Rain's gonna start coming down.
What else is new? I mean, it's pretty much, it's tropical. I don't know if it went to hurricane or if it's still a tropical storm. I haven't checked for like several hours. Because I checked earlier and I was like, oh, it's hitting the panhandle. I was like, fuck it. We'll just get the edge. It'll be fine. But summer in Florida, in case you didn't know, pretty much every afternoon you get really bad thunderstorms. That's when I get like upset about tropical storms and stuff, because I'm like, meh. Happens kind of every day. You know. Yeah, what, you said somebody had gone like normal?
Gone normal. It's
gone
so
normal.
fucking funny.
Gone to the dark side.
No, Gene just, you know.
Normalcy.
Gene just, you know, got married and had kids and just became like somebody's mom. You know, that's how it goes. Going to the football games with the husband and shit.
That always kind of depresses me. I don't know why.
Yeah. She was cute because, like, she was in high school and she had a fucking tattoo. A lot of people didn't know that. She had a fucking Black Widow tattoo, fucking tattooed on her fucking shoulder.
Which was kind of a big thing back then.
It was a big deal back then. Yeah.
I mean, shit, when I got my first tattoo, which has since been covered up, the tattoo artist didn't want to do it on my arm because he thought everyone would think I was a hoe.
Yeah.
He's like, can I do it somewhere I can cover it up, like on like your lower leg or something?
It was a good 80s tattoo, you know what I mean? It wasn't, you know, I think it was done at home, but I think it was done at home by a tattoo artist. She must have been dating a tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Somebody that had a machine at least. Or dating somebody who was friends with a tattoo artist. She had a damn Black Widow spider tattooed on her back shoulder. Looked cool though.
Yeah.
I saw that shit. She was like 17. I was like, wow. And I was like, that's fucking awesome. Yeah. She kept that shit covered up at school. I don't even think her parents knew she had that.
Well, yeah, like I said, back then you really had to kind of... Mm-hmm. It's funny now because everybody has tattoos and there's like no stigma about it at all.
No. It was about the size of a silver dollar.
But back in the 80s, it's like they...
Yeah.
And even, like I said, the tattoo artist, he was like an old biker that did my first tattoo. Like I said, it's been covered up now. But it was an owl. But I didn't cover it up because it was shitty. I just covered it up because it was like starting to bleed away. And it wasn't looking as cool as it did, so I had to cover it up with something better. But, yeah, like the old biker told me, I think it was in the late 80s, early 90s. I guess, can't remember when I got that done. It was like a long time ago. But he said that. He's like, yeah, people think... He said to me, and I remember this quote very specific. He's since died, R.I.P., because he was a nice dude. But he said, people think things about girls that have tattoos on their arms. That's what he told me. And this was like 91? Maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That was back in the day.
Yeah. So there was still like a stigma about it.
By the time 96, 97 was rolling around, that was kind of shaking loose, though.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, because I remember like back in the old days, like people wouldn't even like, please don't dye your hair weird colors, don't shave your head weird. Because I shaved my head weird in high school and my parents didn't care, but like other people were like, you're never going to be able to get a job with hair like that.
That's what it was back then.
And back then you wouldn't be able to.
That's because our grandparents were still in charge of shit.
Yeah, if you had like tattoos or you had like weird colored hair or anything like that.
Oh, it's time to fucking smoke a cigarette. You got a lighter over there?
No, I think you left them.
Okay, I'll get a lighter.
You left them in the.
Somebody was asking
room.
if we liked fucking Scotch whiskey,
I like whiskey.
Yeah.
I'm not a big.
I like single malt Scotch whiskeys. Those are good. I like Glenfiddich. If you want to send me a bottle of Glenfiddich, go ahead and contact Jenny.
Ooh, that was shameless. Yeah. He doesn't care.
No.
I like whiskey on occasion. I didn't drink it for a long time because I kind of feel like I used to drink it a lot, and I felt like when I got drunk on whiskey, I got like super aggressive, which Tom was not a fan of. Like I'd get really angry. But enough time has passed that now I can drink a few and kind of get drunk on it and just be like drunk and happy or whatever. So I don't, but normally I usually just drink vodka. I mean, vodka is kind of my liquor of choice, I guess. But I like other shit too. I like gin as well. But I can't drink that many of those because it's too acidic. So, but whiskey's good. You know.
Okay, it's time for me to change my hair.
Uh-oh. Xana said Jenny's hair looks great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Tom just cut it last night.
Yeah.
I wanted to go back to, like I said, I used to have it all shaved under here, and it took several years to grow back out. But I was kind of going back to, we're doing the mohawk at, I didn't have it like put it completely up because I'd have to tease it more than it's teased right now, which is, I like the way it looks, but getting all the knots out the next day is like a bitch. Oh my God.
Smoking, so I gotta go.
Oh my God, Tom.
I'm ready to come get you, Sandra. Hold on. I want my plane ticket ready. Get that plane ticket to Germany ready.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna give you some of that real American. Go ahead.
When he put that, the first time he put that on, I was like, what's up, Joe Dirt?
Hold on. Stop talking about me. Stop looking at me. Stop looking at me.
My God. Oh my God.
Got that from... I was... there's this guy I subscribed to. His name's Derek. And Derek got this channel called More Plates, More Dates. And he's this muscle nerd. He's this real nerdy fucking dude who's big into like biochemistry. Gramthars would know exactly. Gramthars motherfucker's like Steve when Steve was young. But he's like, imagine if Steve was roided out. He's like that. He started off as, he's this muscle nerd. He's all into biochemistry and chemicals and shit. And he has all these fucking protocols and all these videos about biotechnology and fucking
See, nerds
HRT
are cool.
and well, some nerds have upgraded themselves, you know. So he also will tell you everything about all these weird ass fucking steroids, the history of them, what they do, and he's got this blog going on, and people post to this blog, and he comments about the blog, and he has all these people talking about their steroid fucking experiences. And there was dude posted some shit that's blowing my mind.
Uh-oh.
Oh man.
Is it gonna blow your wig right off?
16-year-old boy running Tren. He was eating one big Tren bologna sandwich. And he talks about what it did to his mind. He ran it as just solo, a heavy dose at 16 while he's going through puberty. He spent all his time designing the technical fucking schematics and blueprints to make cumbots. He called them cumbots.
Okay, I like that.
Which is like a sex bot. It was the perfect sex bot.
Obviously.
And he spent the other time of his time becoming racist and fighting against him being racist, which he tells the whole story about what that was all about. And then a fucking fighting urges from attacking women. And he did attack a few women. He grabbed their throats and shit, and then he stopped himself and jumped off and like, whoa, what did I do? What he was doing...
You attack me, bro. I'm punching your fucking teeth.
No, it's Tren. He was on Tren.
I don't give a shit what it is.
Yeah. Tren.
On my end, it doesn't really matter, does it?
Tren is a molecule that kind of looks like testosterone, but it's fucking a lot. It's a lot more targeting fucking muscle building. Problem is it's so suppressive, it shuts down most of your endocrine system. You're never, ever, ever supposed to run that. Just take that on its own. Okay? But he doesn't know. He's fucking 16-year-old kid. He takes that shit on his own.
Teenagers are stupid.
You can't sleep on it. You will not be able to sleep. It's fucking total insomnia. Because you're not producing any testosterone, there's nothing to aromatize into estrogen. So you can run on Tren like it's test, but you won't have any estrogen. So you slowly start losing sanity on this shit. Your chemicals are fucking totally imbalanced. Every time he saw a woman, he felt like he wanted to fucking choke her. A woman his age.
Oh, goody.
A girl his age. He wanted to choke her.
That's all we need.
Lots of hyper-aggression.
That's all we need.
So what he was doing was...
Wait, he's only 16?
16.
Oh my God, okay. I'm punching you right in the taint.
16. All right. Every time he sees another... He goes to school, and every time he sees a 16-year-old girl, he has this fucking overwhelming urge to fucking grab her throat.
Maybe you guys should not have this stuff. I'm just throwing that out there.
Then,
just throwing that out
there. So what he does is he needs a safe alternative. So he locks himself up in his room. This is for several months, and writes out the blueprints to make the perfect sex robots.
Yeah, you make that.
Yeah. He called them
stay in your
cumbots.
House.
He called them cumbots.
You just choke the robots,
right?
And leave everyone else alone. Thank you.
And every time he's okay. Here's the deal. He's Amerasian. He's half Caucasian. He's half Asian. If he saw anybody who was Asian or black, he would immediately fucking think all kinds of racist thoughts and shit, and would try to become hostile towards them. But then, like a few minutes later, he'd fucking shake himself out of it, and he would try to overcompensate. So he spent a lot of time buying fucking hot dogs and giving hot dogs to black people to try to compensate for
this is the weirdest story I've ever heard.
Yeah, man, it's a great fucking go look at More Plates, More. And he just posted part 2 because once he showed up on the show, he goes, yeah, and on the blog he goes into more detail. He even posted the schematics for making the cumbots. He drew them all out when he was fucking high on Trent. It's like high on Trent. His mind was extremely.
Oh my God,
warped.
my mind's going back to Frankenhooker again.
Yeah,
the whole okay.
Hormones are extremely powerful fucking influence over personality and the brain.
This makes me want to never go outside ever again.
He's afraid that he's destroyed his brain, but he went back to the normal. But
can we ever trust him again though?
He's only like 17 or 18 right now.
Can we ever trust him again?
Yeah. Hormonal imbalances.
I don't know if I would. I don't know if I would extend him that. I'm not going to extend that to him.
Yeah, this shit is fucking hilarious. You got to hear the fucking stories. The stories that he would do.
Well, not so funny to somebody that's like on the receiving end. You know, you gotta weigh the whole thing. It's like, gee, some random dude just jumped on me and choked me out, but then he bought me a hot dog, so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it.
He didn't choke anybody.
He felt like
he grabbed a girl by the throat, but then let her go as soon as he did it.
So he did like assault someone.
But he knew her evidently. It was some girl in high school.
That doesn't make it better.
Yeah. She didn't press charges on him.
That also doesn't make it better.
Yeah.
But
he's under the influence of fucking Tren.
That also does not make it better.
He's a minor.
Also does not make it better. 16,
you just gotta hear the stories.
16 is old enough to know better.
You just gotta hear the stories.
I mean, I feel like I never had to be told that you shouldn't jump on people and grab them by the throat randomly. I never had to be told that. It was just kind of understood.
You're trying to read too much into it.
Yeah, okay. You say that to me all the time.
The dude is on Tren. He's fucking 16 years old.
No excuse.
All right.
Xana is saying, it's okay. He was on Flocka. He gets a pass.
Yeah, no.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No.
That's
it's not him. It's not him. He's under the influence of a fucking powerful.
It's him,
thing.
But if you're on the under the influence of something, I feel like to an extent we can give you like a pass, but not. That's still you, though. It's still you.
No, a lot of people.
Still you.
A lot of people have reported that. Well, he's taking extremely high doses of Tren.
Right.
As a standalone, and that was actually one of the symptoms: aggression towards women and fucking weird racist impulses. And it's just that's one of the things that it does.
Victor says maybe there was a carbon monoxide leak and he was keeping her from breathing it in. He saved her by choking her.
But that's
what I mean. It's like, if you want to get that ridiculous,
go get on. Go fucking. I'll fucking show you bitches. Okay. He's got the drawings.
I can imagine.
He's got the drawings.
I can imagine.
He's got the drawings. He's got the fucking schematics on how to make the combots, and they are fucking hilarious.
Well, everyone should encourage him to make the combots. Make your combots, and then don't come out of your house ever again, because none of us want to deal with your bullshit.
Yeah, it was temporary. It wore off. But
none of us want to deal with your temporary bullshit.
Here's the thing: he said that he started when he stopped taking it. It took him a few weeks to come back to normal, and he said that it was not. He said
this should be good.
He said that the combat fascination didn't stop instantly. It slowly faded away. And it became the idea became less and less attractive until it got to the point where he thought it was totally insane and had no idea why he even thought of that.
And then everyone else was like, yeah. Where the fuck have you been?
I'm going to show you guys.
Bitch, I'm drunk and I know that's like fucking insane. Come on.
Well, I was watching this and I was going, it sounds like a lot of fucking things that serial killers describe.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Well, could it be that maybe they're producing some kind of weird biochemistry in their brains?
That's possible.
All right.
That's possible.
Yeah.
Well, because like I said, I have read many books about serial killers. I read that whole that book there that I think Sophie sent me, that Confessions of a Serial Killer, that was about BTK, and it was about that woman that like corresponded with him for a really long time. The shit that the dude says, like somebody, so I think it was Gary, like earlier, said he wasn't actually going to go to sleep until you did the BTK voice, so at some point you have to do that. Mm-hmm. We might want to get the bobblehead over here too, like to weigh in on issues. But I read the book, and she reproduced like a lot of the correspondence she had got from him, and in a way it's terrifying because you're just like, holy crap, like there's people out there that look relatively normal that think this way. But in another way, it's kind of, I don't want to say it's like soothing, but it's like, at least like I don't think anything like this dude. Like this dude's like thinking is like completely alien to me.
There it is right there.
Look at his goofy ass face.
Yeah, that's not him. That's fucking Derek he's talking about. This is a 16-year-old on Tren. Combots, brain damage, and becoming racist. And he just posted
that. You know what? That really, like, I almost want to make a joke about that, but I'm not gonna.
And then he's got a part two.
I'm not gonna.
The racist
It's
16-year-old.
sitting right there, man. It's sitting right there.
The
But I'm not
racist
gonna do it.
16-year-old who designs combat bots part 2. Part 2 is good too. Part 2 is really good.
Victor says, "Isn't there a high correlation between serial killers and head injuries?" Yes, there is.
Yeah.
There is actually. That's one of the factors that leads to. A lot of them had head injuries when they were kids, especially. Yeah. A lot of shit that happened to them in child, even ones that had like fairly normal childhoods. I think it's like some of them like fell off a swing and shit like that, and hit their head. So Tom.
Yeah.
You had a head injury.
Yeah.
But later. You didn't have a head injury as a kid. You were like older. I kind of feel like serial killers usually have head injuries when they're young.
Santa goes, Tom spent all day reading this Weirdos blog. No, I just watched the videos.
He probably did.
No, I just watched the videos. They were commenting.
He spent all day watching the Weirdos videos.
No. Derek was talking about him in the videos. They're fucking great. I sent part 1 to Sophie, and she loved it. She goes, that's fucking hilarious. He talks about it. It's a fucking great story. But it makes me wonder if some of the serial killer stuff might be like biochemical and possibly organic.
Well, I'm sure that's a factor.
Because Tren is doing things to certain fucking centers of the brain which would cause reactions like that. And it sounds kind of like the urges of a serial killer.
Yeah, like they see a woman and they just can't help. But
Can't
it's
help
like,
it,
man, I gotta kill that bitch.
Well, no, yeah, you love him, but you want to kill him at the same time. And he grabs her and goes, oh, and then he stops himself. And anybody who's kind of like, anybody's a different race. Okay, here's another thing. He was half Asian and half Caucasian. In part 2, he clarifies that one time Tren had him so bad that he kept seeing Nazi parades in his hair, in his head. Let me fucking talk. She's fucking with me. Nazi parades in his head.
Look, I have Nazi parades in my
They're marching to
hair.
heavy metal, and then he's in American History X as the fucking white dude, and he's stomping. He's curb stomping like in that movie.
Yeah.
Himself, but the Asian version of himself.
Paging Dr. Freud.
Yeah,
Paging Dr. Freud.
So the white version of himself is killing off the fucking Asian
obviously.
version of himself.
You don't have to be a psychotherapist to figure that out.
Yeah. Well, he said that in there.
Yeah.
He's like...
Goodness gracious. That dude has got like some issues. Xanada says, Jenny and Tom, I'm going to a small goth nightclub in Reno in 2 weeks. What's some pointers for me?
Don't talk to nobody.
Well, don't say that. Jesus Christ.
I don't know, man. Don't fucking wear black slacks. Don't wear fucking black dress shoes. Fucking buy some fucking boots and buy some real shoes and buy some real fucking
it's like,
pants.
I kind of feel like someplace, and I even saw, one of the Orlando papers, it wasn't the cool one, Orlando Weekly, but it was another one, and they did an article about mannequins because Paul Vane posted it earlier on Facebook, who was the DJ there. And they even said, go there, wear black. I'm like, that's a little vague.
Yeah.
Don't just wear black because...
I've seen motherfuckers showing up in black slacks
and like a black
slacks,
and like a black polo shirt.
Black pleated
That's
slacks.
That's not gonna fool anybody.
With black
Come on.
fucking waiter shoes and
Look
shit.
how goth
Get
I
the
am.
fuck out of here.
No. You look like you work at a fucking... you look like a waiter.
Go on. Go on Amazon.
That's like a uniform, yeah.
Get you some fucking Demonia shoes, fucking goth shoes.
You can totally get away with if you wear cool boots.
And some fucking PVC fucking Demonia fucking bondage pants or some
Or shit, you could even wear black jeans and like a cool black t-shirt. Like a band shirt.
Yeah.
You could totally get away with black jeans. Just black, even like old school. You could go like Doc Martens. You could do something like that.
The footwear is where the fucking...
A lot of goths notice your shoes. And I'm not going to lie about that. We do notice your shoes.
Goth or punk rock footwear. You know what I mean? And that's really what makes the entire outfit. You could put a girl in a great outfit and then you put her in fucked up shoes and you're a fucking poser. It's the shoes or the boots.
And I feel like most goths, especially old school ones, like totally know that. Because we have a long history of like people coming in goth clubs and like trying to like pass.
Yeah.
But they always get the shoes wrong.
They get it wrong.
For whatever reason. They always get the shoes wrong.
I can go into a goth club with this bald-ass head in this T-shirt with the right pants. I'd say they're black tight motorcycle pants that you can get them. They're like $60. And I would never wear them on a motor. They call them motorcycle pants. I'd never wear them on a motorcycle. They'd never survive a wreck. And just a pair of New Rock fucking boots. You know, knee-high boots. And I could just... And with accessories, you go in there and it's summertime goth, man.
Yeah,
Summertime.
no one even looks
just
twice
like
at
whatever.
you.
Now,
Everybody knows you.
Wintertime, you're probably going to start looking at the jackets and shirts and ties and shit. But, we have our own things. It all depends on what look you're going for.
Yeah.
But
you can get away with more casual shit.
Right.
But you can't just, waltz in, like I said, like a black polo shirt, black slacks, like you'd wear to work.
No.
And black dress shoes. No one's gonna buy that. Sorry.
And if you're a dude, if you're going to wear a fucking fishnet shirt, okay, you either got to be skinny or you got to be fucking buffed out. All right, and I'm not there yet. You want to be like fucking 10% lean. So in other words, 10% body fat. So you see the six-pack and shit like that. If you're skinny, that'll work too. If not, wear a T-shirt over the fucking fishnet shirt. Yeah. Or under it, but usually it's over it. Okay?
Yeah. You don't see as much fishnet as you used to.
You don't see it like you used to, yeah.
You don't see it like
you want to wear the fucking leatherettes and shit. Fucking leather fucking bracelets.
Yeah, accessories are always good.
Yeah,
get some cool belts with fucking chains on them and shit like that.
Put some goggles on your head, motorcycle goggles or whatever kind of goggles you want, or depends on.
Like I said, you can just do a T-shirt and pants. If you're a dude, you can just do T-shirts and pants, but it has to be the right T-shirts and pants.
In general, goth dudes and shoes. In general, goths don't have facial hair. If they do, it's some satanic shit. Anton LaVey looking. Yeah.
You're right. We don't really see a lot of.
Nah.
We don't really see a lot of facial hair in the goth community, unless it's like you said, unless it's some Anton LaVey looking. Unless you got a goatee or a sharp.
Ming the Merciless or Anton.
Yeah,
LaVey.
that kind of shit. You see that sometimes. Other than that, you don't really see it much. All kind of different hair though. Especially among dudes. You see bald dudes. You see mohawks. You see just kind of real short hair. You see the high and tight. You see. I don't know, lots of different shit.
Tila says, what kind of shoes do goths wear? And we're giving away all these fucking secrets to you pedestrian people. There's two brands.
It's all right. Everyone's friends here.
There's two brands.
No one's trying to pass as anything.
The cheap brand is Demonia. It's cheap
I've got several
good.
pairs of those, yeah.
Demonia tops out at about $140 for a pair of boots.
And they're knee-high.
And it's pretty
with
good.
With a bunch of buckles and
pretty
shit.
good.
They last a while. If you dance in them a lot, because I danced in them a lot, so I've had several pairs and they've worn out after a time. The heel will fall off or they'll bust open.
You want platforms on them, you want lots of buckles, and you want lots of spikes and shit like that. The top notch shit, which that's where I'm at. I buy the top notch shit. It is because it lasts forever. All right, and that's New Rock. New Rock. It's an Italian company. It's all leather. Fucking fantastic fucking soles. That's what you see a lot of the metal and thrash bands and people in bands where they wear New Rock. Either the shoes or the boots. And they make men's and women's. New Rock men's boots or shoes are fucking fantastic. Boots gonna cost you about $350. All right. But you keep them for a lifetime. They'll last fucking forever.
They last a long time. But like I said, they're real leather and they're handmade.
Yeah. I got a pair of New Rock boots that I've had for how long?
Jesus, I can't even remember when you bought those.
And then the shoes I've had for fucking 12, 13 years.
You had those before I met you.
Yeah, 12, 13 years.
So that's more than 11 years.
And the sole separated from the thing a little bit like they do. I just used shoe glue and put weights on it and fucking glued it back together just the same way you would do that at a shoe repair place. And you can keep those things running forever.
David June says, I wear Chuck Taylors, but I'm not goth. I like comfy shoes. Chuck Taylors are totally acceptable.
Doc Martens would be entry, and that'd be
Chuck Taylors are more a lot of skaters and shit used to wear those. So it's Chuck Taylors. I feel I had several pairs of Chuck Taylors myself. I had some high top black Chuck Taylors back in the day. So those are acceptable also. But he's saying glad to see Tom sees us all as pedestrian. Geez, I thought you liked us, bro.
What's that? What did he say?
He said, glad to see Tom sees us all as pedestrian. Geez, I thought you liked us, bro.
Yeah, well, we're working right now, you know what I mean? You're big difference between the show and the club. All right. Although it was funny, me and Jenny were at the club, and fucking we had a listener approach us at the club. I even know the guy. He goes, look, man, I don't mean to bother you, but I'm a listener. I love your show. And I was like, oh, man, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I was so hammered. I was in no shape to talk to the dude. But
yeah, if we're out, we're usually like, we're so drunk. And I am, I don't know if a lot of you know this, but I am half deaf.
Yeah.
So if you come up to me and talk to me at the club, I will probably smile at you and nod and stuff, but I will probably have no idea what you're saying.
And when I'm at the club,
I can't hear shit.
And when I'm at the club, I'm so mentally far away from the show. It's just not, you know what I mean? This is like work for us in a way.
Well,
I have fun at the show.
Yeah.
But it's like a different scene. It's a different scene.
Yeah, that's kind of like we're not really... I mean, sometimes we think about it, because sometimes early in the night before we drink, we're just like, oh, we need to do this, that, and the other. We'll, like, talk about it, what we're going to do on the show tomorrow or whatever. And
also, there's a big difference when you're... I'm letting y'all into this, in on this shit, you know what I mean? As a fucking old fucking goth dude. When you're goth, like us, and you're in mixed company in public, that's one thing. It's a lot more open. If you're at a certain club where it's a mixture of goth people and regular people, that's another thing too. It's kind of like you're on different settings. But
yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
But if you're at the fucking castle during a full-dressed, full-on yearly annual event...
Yeah, because sometimes they have like some big fucking events there, like the vampire ball or the steampunk ball or something like that.
Your settings aren't on 10, they're on 11.
Although vampire ball, if you just came up normal, they would not let you in.
No, right. So when you're, this is like a holy fucking religious ceremony for us. So when we're set on 11, oh hell no, we're not gonna talk to y'all. Fuck no, fucking because.
Well, like I said, when
you're in church with us now,
we're in that situation.
Yeah, it's totally.
Normally
different.
They would not get in.
You wouldn't even get in.
Normally you wouldn't get in because. And I've been to like parties like that, especially like goth parties, fetish parties, stuff like that. Sometimes they have a dress code. Most places in Orlando, so they don't want to do that because they just want all the money. Yeah. But Tampa, like the castle, will do like some special events. Like I said, Vampire Ball is kind of their big one. They do a steampunk ball too. I don't know if they do it anymore. But they do like a couple like that every year. And they have a very, very, very strict dress code. Yeah, if you're not like all fucking decked out, nope. Right. Nope.
And then me and Jenny would be in the... We got pictures of us in this situation too. We'll be in the gothosphere. Okay, where it's just goth on goth action and shit, and it all and half of these people are bitches now. Okay, there's fucking cattiness and infighting and fucking all kinds of status involved. And I ain't talking to that motherfucker, and here they're down here and I'm up here, and the goth universe is a hierarchy. Okay, in that way, some people they're just like, oh fuck, oh. It just
we're not that bad.
We're not like that.
I'm not that much of an asshole.
It depends on the situation.
Well, we're kind of like that. Well, it depends.
Depends on the situation. It's situational.
Thank you, David.
Right.
Thank you, David. Just because that Tyrell shirt is so fantastic.
Yeah, thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Fucking, I asked for it. Jenny delivered, man. She found what we needed, and it's one of my favorites. I have 2 of them, and I've actually worn
it. Did come out very nice.
I've worn these to the club, and they were a big hit. They were like, man, that's a cool shirt.
It's like, you want one? Give me $20.
Yeah, I'm trying to sell them.
We need to like wear one of the Ouija board shirts because that was my favorite one of this last cycle.
Well, this is really good with like the industrial motif.
It is, yeah, because that's kind of like, well, you know, I kind of feel like, well, even like, you know, Graham at the fucking goth club, he wears that like, that Wayland Yutani one that I don't know where he got that from. Man, they're doing this weekend, they're doing, this is going to be interesting. At Mannequins, they're doing Goth Pimps and Hoes.
Yeah, Goth Pimps and Hoes.
That was Gina's idea.
Yeah.
Well, I did the poster, and I was just kind of like, I had a really hard time, like, coming up. It's like, what? Yeah. I've never heard of, like, a goth pimps and hoes party. I was like, that just seems like 2 audiences that are not, that don't overlap. But we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Gina says, do peeps at the clubs watch your show? I'm like, no, they don't. They don't.
Some of our friends do watch it sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. They don't. Well, this when is it comes a dude up. That... He was about my age, and we were at Mannequins, and he was goth adjacent. He was the goth guy.
Goth adjacent.
Well, I haven't seen him in full dress.
Right.
It was summertime, you know what I mean? And he came up and he just was like, man, I love you guys' show. I don't mean to bother you. And he was fucking real respectful. It was good. I liked it because I was fucking hammered. I didn't have time. I would not have been able to handle somebody just wanting to talk about the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just fucking was.
Because, like, man, when I'm drunk and I'm just, like, listening to the music, and sometimes, like, I don't mind it. As long as people are, like, not weird and, like, clingy and stuff. Right. If you just come up and be like, man, I think your show is awesome. Yeah, that's cool and everything. Right. But it's like, if you're going to ask me details, I'm not going to remember. Yeah, we're not going to remember. I'm not going to remember. And I'm not going to hear half of what you say.
And we're not really going to want to talk about that. We're going to be more in the situation of that club at the time. We're going to be fucking partying. So if you want to talk, we're going to talk about partying. Don't talk about the show.
Or we can talk later, but like I said...
talk later, but not when we're in there.
You can go to Chantel's with us, get some chicken and waffles, then we'll talk. But also, we'll be super fucked up, and we probably won't remember anything you say.
Yeah.
When I'm in the club, I can't
It's a shame Mini Movie doesn't watch. For all I know, that motherfucker does watch.
He might, I don't know.
Yeah.
He never comments, though.
He never comments.
Unless he's, like, an incognito. Like,
he's got more little slaves and shit that he's dealing with.
Well, you know what's weird is that sometimes I don't realize, because remember when our friend Cassandra, who we met at iBar like a long time ago. She has been in the club scene in Orlando since she was 17, and she's the same age as me. So she's been like going to iBar and shit like that like forever. And I hadn't seen her for a while, and then she was at Mannequins the other day, so I got to talking to her, and she's like, oh, I wanted to talk to you about, like, because I want to start a podcast, I want to, like, talk to you. And so she came over to the house the other day, we had a drink, and we were talking about shit. And she said, she's like, you know, I listen to you guys' show sometimes. And she, like, brought up a couple things that we, like, talked about on show. She doesn't, like, listen to it, like, regularly because, like I said, our bitch asses are on all the time. Yeah. It's like no one can keep up. But she had seen, like, a bunch of shows. So it's kind of like, I don't know, we don't have any, like, super, super regular listeners, but a lot of people that we know at the clubs, like, do listen sometimes. Yeah. Like, if it's something that they, you know, care about or... some topic or something.
If they're in the mood,
if they're in the mood, like to listen to it. So some of them, because some of them will come up to me and they'll be like, "Hey, I saw your show about blah blah blah," and then we'll talk about that. But it's like, I don't know if there's like any of them that like listen super regularly.
Another thing is that y'all's experience of us and our friends' experience of us is very different. They see us all the time at the club.
Yeah, we're not that interesting. We're not interesting enough to like watch.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, oh, it's them. Yeah, okay.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
We talk to them all the time. Big deal.
That's part of it. Another part of it is that they know that they all do work similar to this. Most of them are artistic people. We don't watch their shit either. And it's not, you know, or watch all their shows, like they're spinning live on
yeah, it's like sometimes we do, but it's like I don't really... Yeah. But it's like sometimes I don't really have time. Because a lot of our friends are in bands or they have like radio shows or something like that. And I try to go on there and like support, but I don't have time to like support everybody.
They got their gigs and we got our gigs. Right. And our relationship is not professional, it's personal. From the clubs.
Well, and a lot of them...
we don't really care too much. I mean, we like the fact that, yeah, you do this, and he's in that band, and this and that. But that's not the center of our friendship.
Yeah, we just like them because they're cool people, and we've known them for, like, forever.
Right. We're not fans. We're peers with them. So it's not the same.
Well, like, for an example, like, we know...
And we help each other.
We know Brian, the vegan black metal chef.
Yeah.
Have I seen a lot of his videos? Yes. Right. I've seen a lot of his videos, like a lot of his cooking videos, and I designed his cookbook. I don't watch every single one that comes out. I mean, I liked all the ones that came out, but it's like, you know, because we see him all the time.
Yeah, and Ben V and Ludovico
like technique. In real life.
Ben V and Ludovico take.
Yeah, it's like, do I buy his like CDs sometimes? Sure.
Yeah. Misfit Toys.
But yeah, we know them in real life, so it's like, it's not, every now and then we'll like buy their shit or... you know, go see their shows or whatever, but it's like, it's not, we're not constantly up their ass because we know them.
And some of the girls we know are kind of like OnlyFans girls and fucking porn type people and shit. And we don't watch their shit. We don't really care about that. You know what I mean? Fucking they're exotic looking and it's just to us, they're, you know, we're like those big boob girls. You know what I mean? We don't really care. That's just them. We hang out with them when we're at the club. And everybody's kind of... Florida's kind of like I said, I'm from California, and Florida's a lot like California was back in the 70s and the 80s. It's kind of an artistic crowd, you know. It's not as built up. It's it's more suburban, which that's the way California used to be when I was a kid. I mean, it had city areas, but we have that here too. Miami and Orlando are pretty big. Miami much bigger than Orlando.
Well, in Tampa, St. Pete, Clearwater is even much bigger.
Yeah,
it's much bigger.
Tampa, yeah.
Because that's like a 3-city
it's
triangle.
People from New York are moving here and fucking it up, and people are moving. Y'all will eventually move here and fuck it up, probably. But I'll be an old man. I'll be an old man by the time all that happens. I don't give a fuck.
He's so crotchety.
Yeah, I'll be an old man.
You're so crotchety, Tom.
Yeah. It's going to take 20 years for you guys to fuck this up, and by then I won't care.
People have been moving here from New York since I was a child.
Yeah.
So don't get too, like, fucking fucked up.
Yeah, I say that
like,
shit.
my grandpa used to complain about that. Like, those Yankees moving down here. My grandpa used to say back in fucking 1982.
Well, I say that, and fucking, like, a lot of our friends
You sound just like my grandpa.
A lot of our friends, Little Swole's from New York. Imani's from New York.
Imani's from New York. A lot of our friends are from New York.
Yeah, they're from New York, but...
Upstate New York, not New York City, but you know what I mean.
But those are cool New Yorkers. Although, I'll tell you what, when I used to go to New York from Boston, New Yorkers are a lot cooler than Bostonians. They're not as uptight.
I fucking loved New York City.
They got more balls.
I love New York. I've been there like lots and lots of times, and I loved it there. I could easily live there if I could afford it, but I cannot.
Yeah. New Yorkers born and raised in New York got balls. And they got good personalities.
I like how cranky they are, because that kind of like goes in with my own natural crankiness.
Yeah, but they also adapt pretty well here. You know what I mean? They come here and they go, oh yeah, it's different, but I like it. I like it like this. They're not trying to turn it into New York. It's got its own thing here, And the New York that made New York great in my mind was the New York of the 70s and the 80s anyway.
When it was all scummy.
When it was kind of scummy. Kind of like Detroit when I was living in Detroit.
I honestly kind of miss the scumminess. Like, it's nicer nowadays that you can go there and, like, probably not get mugged. Because I feel like in the 70s and 80s, like, some parts of it were, like, really dangerous. You know what I mean? And I kind of remember that whole vibe of it. Like, when you went later, you could go to, like, pretty much anywhere and you'd be okay. Like, you didn't really worry that much about it.
They say it's getting bad again, though, now. It's getting... the crimes go way up. A lot of people are leaving.
DJ Maniac was talking about, and I guess he's talking about vegan black metal chef, Brian. He says, Brian is an absolute delight. Oh, do you know?
Brian's cool.
He is a lovely, lovely person.
I didn't know you know him, man.
He's just a lovely
Brian's
person.
been over to the house several times. We had parties here. He wanted to come over here and learn how to make pizza.
Yeah, he came over. Like, he brought some food to that party at that time.
We had a party here, and he brought food.
And we made vegan food, and he brought some vegan food as well.
He loved my vegan Indian food. What was that? That was...
yeah, what'd you make from that time? It was. I think you made that thing with the chickpeas.
Yeah, it was chickpeas. I forgot what it was called, though.
Yeah.
It was chickpea curry.
Yeah, you just made like a chickpea curry that was vegan.
Yeah, it was good. He loved it. He's like, oh, man, this is great.
It was really good.
Yeah. A lot of people ate that. I had chickpea curry and
we just saw
paneer.
We just saw him at...
Saw him a couple days ago.
Memento.
Oh, I got a video of him fucking with me, remember? Actually, that's when they put the damn dick on my shoulder.
Oh, that's when, yeah. So it was the last Memento.
And he's sitting there, I'm talking to him, he's talking to me about pizza. And I got his fucking...
A towel dick on your shoulder.
The DJ fucking took
Dimitri made.
Dimitri, who's the DJ on that night.
DJ Leviticus, that's his DJ name.
Him and his wife come over here. His wife is Jen from 13th Angel. All right, she's one of the background. She's the female vocalist for 13 Angels. Which you guys have probably seen her. So Dimitri also works in the hotel industry.
Yeah,
he's like a hotel manager, and he came up through the ranks, and he knows all these fucking hotel skills. And one of the things they do is he fold towels in all these pretty ways and shit. But he can also fold a towel and make it look just like a cock.
Just like a dick, yeah.
And I wasn't looking at him, and him and Little Swell were standing behind me, and fucking... He folds a fucking napkin up, a little hand towel. He folds it up like a fucking big old 10-inch cock, and he lays that shit over my fucking shoulder. And I'm sitting there talking drunk, fucking being serious, and they're back there filming me fucking going, look at him. He's so jacked he can't even feel it.
Yeah, me and Dimitri and Matt were back there like laughing at me. Because like I was like, oh my god, he still isn't. It's like let's see how long it takes for him to notice that's on his shoulder.
So I'm talking to vegan black metal chef with the damn cock hanging over my shoulder. It was funny, you know.
It was very funny. I couldn't believe how long it sat there without you realizing.
Yeah, it fell off.
Dying.
And I picked it up. I was like, what the fuck is this? And I hear him laughing. He goes, oh, the old cock trick. So I had to flip it around. I was wearing the fucking bondage pants. I unzipped my fucking fly and put it in the pants and let that cock fucking hang out of my fucking pants and fucking just went right back like nothing ever happened. And I'm fucking walking around through the club with a fucking big old fucking cock hanging out of my fucking pants for, how long was that? Maybe about 2 or 3 minutes?
Yeah, son.
And, forgot all about it. Fucking talking to the bartender and they're still back there chuckling and laughing that shit's swinging. And then I fucking some big old tall fucking hot goth girls come around the corner and go, oh my, and they go, whoa, whoa, and they're fucking giggling and shit. Like, oh yeah, and I fucking pull the dick out and zip my fly up.
I forgot that was there.
I forgot it was there.
I mean, that was pretty fucking funny.
It was funny.
That was pretty funny.
I got a video of it. But they stopped videotaping the part where I picked it up. Guess they were running out. It was just like a short clip. It ran out of time.
Well, because that's what we were laughing at, was that you were just like sitting there talking like nothing was going on.
It wasn't funny when I flipped it back around on them, see?
Well, no, it's just that we didn't know that was going to happen subsequently. So we were just filming it because we thought it was funny that you didn't realize it was there. And you were just like talking like it was normal. Yeah. Thank you, Gadgy3. Have this, because I'm drunk as a mofo. Yeah, us too. We're getting there. Although I need another drink.
And the football went good? Okay.
Did it? Okay.
All right.
All right, the sports ball went the way that you wanted it to go.
The way it went, yeah. Tila says Tom's Southern Man is kicking in.
Southern Man.
Southern Man. Yeah, I hear screaming and bullwhips cracking and how long. That's a great song. I like that song, actually.
I do too, actually.
Yeah. Tom Danzig or Glenn Ross? Tom Danzig. Yeah.
I think it's time for more drinks.
Go ahead. Sandra just said, I just discovered new rock boots that I love. This goth waltz. I'm really slowly turning into a goth. Yes, you're going to be a fucking peanut butter goth eating girl.
Yeah, we'll see.
Or a goth eating peanut butter girl.
Wait, a goth eating peanut
Yeah.
She's going to eat goths? Oh, no.
Yeah. No, our house is decorated goth, Tila. Our bedroom's fucking red.
Yeah, not so much the outside part of it, but like the...
Our bedroom's red with black trim.
And we have like a lot of horror posters. We have The Thing, we have The Shining, I have Profondo Rosso.
Yeah.
I have a this really cool piece of artwork that I bought at a horror convention many years ago, which is Cupcake Cthulhu, which is like this girl and she has like all these tentacles and like cupcakes and stuff. What else do we have? What other movie posters do we have? I think we have a Casino Royale one, which is actually looks like a playing card.
T's talking about me with this fucking wig and the shadows hitting my eye like I got eyeliner and eye makeup on. Tila, you don't understand. When I got my fucking long hair on, man, I'm fucking beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, shit. Man, what the fuck is wrong with it, Jenny? I'm being eaten alive by hair. Hold on.
Join the club.
Yeah.
This is why I wanted you to
I got my pretty wig on, man.
Wanted to... You're so pretty.
I got my pretty wig on.
This is why I wanted to cut most of my hair off. This is like why... this is my everyday experience. Do you understand that?
Fucking hair is something else, man.
Every time I try to do anything, it seems like I'm either getting hair in my mouth or it's like caught in my fingernails or something. Okay. Or there's like pieces of it like caught in my bra, for Christ's sake. Hair everywhere. I wanted to like shave my head completely. We were talking about this at the club the other night. Which is when I decided I was like, yeah, I'm going to go back to like the shaved, at least partially shaved. I might shave all of it. I'm not sure. But I do kind of like the mohawk action. And I was kind of like, man, I wish my head wasn't so enormous so I could just like shave it all off. And then I could just be bald. And then if I felt like it, I could wear a wig. Because hair is overrated. And I wish that I had a head that could support baldness. I don't think I can, though. Because I just feel like my head is too... I don't know. I feel like my head is too big and I don't think I would look bald. I was thinking about doing a Chelsea like Vampira used to do back in the day. So it would have been like the bangs and this, but nothing else. And Tom was kind of like, I don't know. I feel like you have to be really, really skinny to do that. And I was like, gee, thanks a lot. But yeah, so I don't know. I think my head's too big to do that kind of shit. I need like hair in the back. As much as I don't want it there. I do want it there because I like the way it looks, but I don't want it there because it's like too much of a pain in the ass. I don't like to wash it. I don't like to brush it. I don't like to like maintain it. It's just too much trouble. But I can't be bald because that looks really crappy. So it's a conundrum. Thank you, David. Y'all need to rent 976 Evil from Amazon. I saw it a long time ago and I really liked it, but I haven't seen it again since then. I'd buy the DVD for you, but it's a bit too pricey. So here's a rental. Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm going to write that down because that was one of the ones that I wanted to do eventually because it has that dude. I mean, you know, it was Robert Englund, right? And it has that dude that was in Fright Night, who I love. I saw it on cable once or twice back in the old days, and I remember liking it, but I haven't seen it a long time since then. So it's one of those ones that I kind of want to rewatch to see if it's any good. Cheryl Stanley says, I'm putting Go to a Goth Club on my bucket list. They're usually pretty fun. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to find like a completely, I don't even know what the word is, like a completely like goth club where like there's nobody there but that. Because you usually get bleed through. But really, economically, there's not enough goths in any one city to like support a club of any significant size. Because it's kind of expensive to run them, especially like in Orlando, because the liquor licenses alone are just ridiculous. So even like Mannequins, where we go, you know, our friend Big Tom opened that, and even he's open most nights, Friday nights and Saturday nights. They do not just goth, it's goth, industrial, new wave. Even like last Friday or last Saturday, he was doing like some old like hair metal, like he's playing Guns N' Roses and shit. Because there was one girl that was like requesting it. So you get like in downtown Sanford too, you get a lot of kind of yuppie action because there's a lot of other clubs around there, or like a lot of other kind of bars that are kind of like sports bars and stuff. So you get like a lot of spillover from that because Mannequins is like open later than those because those usually close by 11. So you get a lot of that. Downtown Orlando, you don't get so much of that because I guess there's more different types of clubs. So everybody that comes to Barbarella, which used to be called iBar, which used to be called Barbarella, everybody kind of knows what the deal with that place is because it's been there for like 35 years or whatever. So it's like everybody knows Saturday night is 80s night. So that's kind of like when you're going to get the goths, the punks, the new wave people. You're going to get younger people that like 80s music too. But it's kind of like more alternative crowd. You know what I mean? Thank you.
Check this out, Jenny.
What? What'd you do?
I had to change my drink because I ran out of pineapple.
Oh, no.
I got cake vodka.
Yeah.
And guava. Taste it. It's right there.
I don't like guava, though.
Just taste it.
He always makes me,
just
even though
taste
I don't
that shit.
want
That stuff's really good.
That's pretty good. It's kind of sweet.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. I was saying
it's really South American, man.
It's very, very sweet. That's even too sweet for me, and I love sweet shit. Yeah, I was commenting on the on Cheryl Stanley's comment that I'm putting Go to a Goth Club on my bucket list. And I was saying, what's up, Ian Asbury? Fire woman. Do it.
No,
I heard that on my fucking
I don't know the lyrics.
I heard that on my Pandora the other day and I had to skip it. It's like, it's kind of crooked.
She's driving me crazy.
Come on.
Come on. I don't remember the lyrics.
I just heard that song like 2 days ago and I can't even remember it. I'm not a big fan of the Cult, I gotta say. I don't know why.
Tila, do you know the Cult? Tila doesn't know the Cult. Tila's not Caucasian.
See, you're feeling
feeling
my pain with like the.
Tila's not Caucasian enough to know the Cult. You know the Cult? She watch. She's gonna fuck with me. She goes, I know the Cult. I have 3 of their albums.
Well, maybe she does.
Yeah,
you're like, don't presume.
I'm presuming. Yeah. Actually, I look like the damn singer from fucking Laibach now.
You do a bit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Laibach are crazy.
Yeah. No, they're good, man. Fucking really good.
Well, no, I didn't mean that in a bad way. Yeah. I actually quite like Laibach.
Life is life.
They're like, yeah, I look like Vlad the Impaler. Yeah. So. I mean, on the whole, I like industrial music. I'm not saying that. But I don't know. I like it at a club, but honestly, I kind of like I like post-punk shit. I like death rock. I like old school punk rock. I like weird shit. There comes a point where a lot of industrial just kind of sounds the same to me. And I feel like that was kind of like when I started going to the castle, when I was going to the castle in like the late 90s and early 2000s, I kind of feel like that was a problem that I had, was that they played a lot of industrial noise, you know, just a lot of synth pop, a lot of stuff like that. And a lot of it didn't really make an impression because a lot of it kind of sounded the same. Like some of the bands you could pick out because, like, you know, the singers were distinctive or the style was distinctive, but not a lot. A lot of it just kind of like blended together.
Tila says, I was right, that she doesn't know anything about the cult.
I just feel like I said, they started out as a death rock band, Southern Death Cult. And I liked them. I wasn't a big fan. I didn't buy any of their albums or anything, but it's like, you know, when I heard their songs, I'm like, oh, that's good. But then, like, when like the late 80s came along, they kind of went more LA glam metal type of direction, which Sisters of Mercy did too, but not to the same extent as that. So I kind of feel like by the time that Love came out, that album, I kind of felt like, well, they kind of just sound like everybody else, so I lost interest. You know what I'm saying? They still play a ton of cult songs at, you know, any goth or new wave club you go to. They still play that, but I don't know. I just can't get into it. It sounds too much like glam metal to me.
That's the cult.
Also kind of doorsy. They're very doorsy.
And with, the music sounds like AC/DC.
But Ian Astbury sounds like Jim Morrison. Yeah. Although I will say he doesn't sound as much like Jim Morrison as Ian McCulloch from Echo and the Bunnymen does. And I would argue that Echo and the Bunnymen sounds more like the Doors than the Cult does.
Yeah.
Maybe people might
I saw them
argue
live.
that.
They opened up for Billy Idol. They were fucking great. Fantastic.
Oh, I'm sure they were probably good live. Yeah. It's just not, I don't know, to me, they just didn't seem like they had enough to, like, their sound was not, like, distinct enough for me to really super get into them. That's all.
They were mainstream in the day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But when they were the Southern Death Cult, they were really good.
Yeah, I liked that.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, they sounded like a death rock band back then.
Yeah.
Then they just started kind of sounding like everybody else, which I'm sure was good for them because I'm sure they made a shit ton of money. But, you know, I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm out. I don't know. I kind of like more quirky. At least I like bands that as soon as that song comes on, even if you've never heard that song before, you know exactly who that is. You know what I'm saying? I like that.
Yeah, I can't play any of the music because we'll get a copyright strike. If you guys want to open another window and listen to the Cult, I would probably either listen to She Sells Sanctuary or Firewoman.
Yeah, Fourth Row Down said when She Sells Sanctuary comes on is a good time to go to the bar. Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what happens. Yeah. I'll be out there dancing to something cool like the Cramps or Mark Almond or something, and then the Cult will come on and I'll be like, oh well, I wanted to rest my feet anyway. And then I go get a drink or I go out to the back patio to smoke or something.
Oh, yeah, I've heard India Irie. I've also heard Stevie Wonder. That was top 40. Well, not India Irie, but I don't remember much about him. India Irie. Yeah. But do you remember Sade? She was good. I like Sade. Yeah, all of her shit was good.
Smooth operator. Yeah. She had another song too that was like
she had a bunch
popular.
Of songs.
Yeah, she had a bunch.
She had a bunch of stuff that went.
I know "Smooth Operator" was like her kind of big hit, like her big breakout hit, but she had like several other than that.
Even into the very late '90s, 2000s, she had a good. She had some good songs, video and everything.
Yeah, well, and I think I mentioned this before. It's like I think people have, because we were talking about this in the context of when we were at Mannequins one night. And there was a bunch of these like really obnoxious like normal people there, and I think they thought they were like owning us or something by asking the DJ to play the Bee Gees, and I'm like, bitch, we know the Bee Gees too.
Dance the fuck out of Bee Gees.
I know them. I know all the words to that fucking
And here's
song.
Another thing, man.
I like the Bee Gees.
These dudes would jump on the dance floor. There'd be like 5 of them. All right, we call them mundanes. All right. If you're not gothic, then you're mundane. Okay. So that's okay.
Well,
that's an ethnic slur against y'all.
It is. Okay. Well, it's kind of like the Harry Potter universe. Yeah. It's kind of like we're calling you muggles.
Yeah,
it's kind of it's a similar.
So mundane.
Muggles.
So like 5 dudes jump on the dance floor and they're fucking dancing and
they all have like cargo shorts on.
Yeah, cargo shorts.
What is that about?
They're trying to dance and they're trying to goof on us and goof on the music. So what do? I jump right in the middle of it and start rump riding one of them. And the other ones pull out the phone and the dude's fucking submitting to it. And then his buddy's like pulling him away and shit. No, don't do that. And fucking I'm fucking leather daddy in these bitches. And fucking they're young guys, you know what I mean? They back up and just looking at me kind of chuckling, and I go, well, at least y'all didn't run away. And then they laughed and ran.
Because sometimes they do.
Because a lot of times they run away.
Because we've done that at iBar sometimes.
Yeah.
Like if somebody got in there.
If you're going to goof,
like
man.
Obnoxious.
If you're going to goof on the fucking music and goof on us, I'm going to goof on you.
Well, see, now, what happened this past... I can't remember if it was Friday or Saturday, because we went both nights. He was playing like some good shit. Like he was playing like some kind of hardcore. Like he was playing like some older industrial, and I was like... And I told you, I said, you know what he should play now? Stigmata.
Yeah.
I was like, so we can start a mosh pit. Because that's what inevitably happens at a goth club whenever you play Ministry Stigmata. So it's like... He was reading my mind because the next song that came on was Stigmata. And I was like, fuck yeah. So I'm like fucking doing my thing. And then there's this group of like 5 or 6 normal people. And they had been dancing to something earlier. But I guess they decided they want to like save their place on the dance floor. So they're just going to stand there. They're not going to dance. They're just standing.
Yeah.
And if there's one thing I hate, and I've kicked people at iBar for this too, no parking on the dance floor. If you're not going to fucking dance... Get the fuck off. You're in everyone's way.
And if you're a girl, do not put your purse down on the fucking center, on the middle of the dance floor.
Dude, there's places to hang that stuff.
Yeah, they do that. They come in.
What is with the ring of girls with the purses in the middle?
They just don't know any better.
What is that about?
Bad club etiquette. They'll come in and they'll put the purses down and they'll all dance in a ring around the purse.
It seems like common sense. It seems like common sense. And another
Basic
thing,
bitches.
It seems like common sense too. If you're not dancing, get off the dance floor. You are in everyone's way. Yeah. Even when other people are dancing around you and like trying not to elbow you, except maybe elbowing you like accidentally on purpose, which I will totally do. Yeah. Because I'm passive aggressive like that. Yeah. But it's just kind of like, move.
Don't go to a goth club.
Move.
And get on the dance floor. Don't be a hipster and go to a goth club and get on the dance floor and try to be ironic and do the robot and shit. You're gonna get goofed on. I goofed on a motherfucker doing that. I tried to dry hump him and crawl up into his fucking pants. And he fucking left. All right? Do not fucking goof on the dance floor.
Like, just be cool. Why is that hard?
Okay.
Don't try to, like, call attention to yourself. Right. You're not awesome. You're not, like, just...
You're not clever. You're not awesome. It's not ironic.
Yeah, we've seen it a million, zillion times. Going back, like, 20, 30 years. We have seen behavior like that. And it's not funny, it's not cute, it's not anything. You're just being a douche and you're tiresome. So it's just kind of like, move. Yeah. Just move.
Yeah, and you can't reason me out of it. I'm a fucking kamikaze.
Everyone's tired of it.
Sometimes they're like, well, what are you gay? And I says, we're both going to be gay here in a minute. You know what I mean? Fucking, I lean right into that shit, man. Fucking, and I'm just going, that booty's going to be mine. Sexy as you're dancing on this dance floor. Turn around, and I call you girl. I'm gonna refer to you in female terms. Turn around, girl. And I go, look at that, and I point at your booty, and I go, if me fucking an ass as tight as that makes me gay, then I guess I'm just fucking gay, because I'm gonna get some of that, girl. How could a man resist? And fucking it cracks them, it breaks them, because what are they gonna do?
Well, they're not entirely sure.
They're not sure how to react to
it. Because they don't know if you're joking or not.
Yeah, and I want to make it very unclear. It's going to be very unclear. All right? That's the fucking power, okay, that I'm going to put on you. All right? If you piss me off, we're going to fuck. Somebody's going to fuck somebody.
Honestly, if it's me, I will probably just, like, trip you accidentally.
Yeah, me, I'm going to try to fuck you.
Or put an elbow in your face. Accidentally. Right. Oops. Didn't see you there. That's what I'll do. Pow! You shouldn't be just so dancing so close to other people. What are you doing?
And if Toby's there, that leather daddy's gonna fuck you up, man. If he sees me fucking with you, then he's gonna come really fucking with you. It's gonna be like having Rob Halford on you. He's gonna have the fucking... Yeah. He's going to have the fucking leather vest.
Because he doesn't really have much patience for that kind of bullshit either. And he doesn't have any patience for that shit
either.
And he's older than we are. And look, so he has even less patience.
I'm going to tell you something. This is absolutely true. He'd be out there on the dance floor and fucking mesmerizing women. And I said, Jenny, look at that fucking bulge. His fucking cock wraps around the fucking side of his leg and ends in something that looks like a goddamn apple. That motherfucker is fucking genetically gifted. I was talking to his boyfriend one time, and I says, you take that? He had a black boyfriend at that time. I said, you take that shit? He goes, I take all that shit. It's like, you motherfuckers are terrible, man. You guys are fucking bad. He's just like, God damn. That dude is fucking...
I hadn't seen Toby in so long, though, so it was
we saw him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, it's like he came out, like, this past weekend, and I was, like, so fucking happy to see him. I didn't see him, like, forever.
Motherfucker's showing up now.
Well, he works a lot. He's a nurse. Yeah. So it's like, we hadn't seen him in a long time, so it's like, he came out to Mannequins. I was like, bitch, what? It's like, come dance with me right now.
He doesn't like hanging out in gay clubs. He likes to hang out in straight clubs and goth clubs and stuff, and fetish stuff. He doesn't like the mainstream.
He's more like a goth.
Yeah, he's more like a goth guy. He doesn't like mainstream gay scene.
And he's older than us, too. He's like 50...
55, 56.
Something. He's 50-something.
Yeah. I mean, he only dates, of course he only dates gay guys, but he doesn't like the gay scene. And he thinks it's too fucking mainstream. He says it's too conventional.
See, that's what I mean. It's like, kind of like...
He says it's too fucking milquetoast.
That's what I mean. I don't like to be like too like normal people. Yeah. But you know what I mean? It's kind of like we have our own thing.
Yeah.
And it's like it's weird because it's kind of like gay, straight. It's like that matters less than like, are you into the same like cool shit that I'm into? Or are you into the same like fucking music that I'm into? It's that kind of thing.
I'm gonna get the shit on video, man, because it's true. I do have some videos of him dancing. Got it on my Instagram.
We have a couple.
On my Instagram.
Because we took a couple.
I need to get pictures of him dancing on a fucking Friday night at fucking iBar for the New Wave night. And there'd be all these mainstream girls fucking around him in a fucking circle watching him fucking dance.
Because he's super fucking hot.
Yeah, and they don't...
He's super hot.
They don't realize... Maybe they realize he's gay, but they're just wistfully watching this shit. And
maybe not though, because okay, we gave him a ride home.
I'm trying to turn him straight. I try to turn him straight. I was like, dude, you got so much to offer these women. How are you going to deny them that? And he's like, oh, you shut the fuck up. And I said, dude, how are you going to deny that fucking monster you got to these fucking women right here? Look at him. And he's like, I'm not drunk enough for that. And when he gets really fucked up, he's all over her. He's all over her. Well, yeah, I gotta get in there and referee this shit. I said, look, man.
Yeah, it's gone pretty...
I'm not into this lesbian shit going on here between y'all, okay? Fucking... It's funny, though.
It is good. It is actually kind of funny.
And he's like, I love both of you guys. I said, so you're going too far. You're going too far. Am I disrespected?
He's so awesome, man. He's awesome. But, like, we've given him a ride home a couple of times, like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
And he's always kind of like, do I seem gay to you guys?
Yeah, he asked me that.
Do I seem gay?
You like Tom.
And I'm like, honestly, I knew him a long time before I realized... I don't know. He didn't read as gay to me.
No, not at first. Once you know him, you see it though.
Yeah, once you know him like really well, you do. But it's like it's kind of
he
like
does that shit all the time to me. He fucking.
It just didn't occur to me. I don't know. It didn't occur to me.
Tom. Says, yeah, what's up, bro? Do I seem gay to you?
Yeah,
and you can't. Don't say yeah. You go, no, man. Of course not. He goes, good. He's fucking. He's
honestly, seriously, I knew him for a while, and it's like he never read his gay. Honestly, it really never occurred to me. I didn't think about it one way or the other.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just that's something that I don't think about. I just I meet a person and I'm just like, hey, this is a cool person. It's a cool person.
It's not the first impression that you get.
So I don't really think about it either way. I don't think about is this person straight? I don't really think about that. I just think that's a cool person.
I just thought he was a fucking goth kind of bondage fetish type dude.
Right. And like I said, in the goth scene, you don't really
You're not looking at that.
You don't really think about it because
you don't really care.
Yeah. No one really cares because is this a cool person? Okay, this is a cool person. Then you're not really concerned about what
goth is almost kind of like a sexual orientation to begin with.
You know what? It kind of is now that you bring it up. Because it's something that honestly, like, my whole entire teenage years since I got into goth, I really, and this is completely honest, I never really bothered myself with people's sexual orientation. I really didn't.
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, when I met people, I was like, is this a cool person? Do they like cool music, or they like, and then I didn't like really worry about.
Well, you look, man. Even,
I didn't worry about it.
Even Detroit, then you go to the Army, and I was in some of the Nashville scenes, you know, off and on when I could. But then coming to Boston and hanging out in Man Rays, sexual and gender identity, just talking about it was a faux pas. That was a social.
Well, it wasn't really anything that anybody worried about.
And nobody's business, and like I said, it was all kind of like a fucking goth itself was kind of like a sexual orientation to begin with. Fucking, you weren't supposed to, you weren't even supposed to fucking, you were just sexual. It didn't really matter.
Much.
That's all.
It's just kind of like if you heard this chick like fuck that other chick or something. It was like okay,
whatever. It didn't matter.
No one really worried about it.
It was like a fucking nest of damn fucking vampire bats. It didn't really fucking matter. Like I said, fucking it was just. Oh man, it was weird. You know what I mean? And the thing is that it was like it was uncool to even talk about orientation. That was kind of like off the table, in a way.
Well, because
just like
I almost kind of feel like
do what you want to do. Nobody cares what you're doing.
Yeah, it was something that no one really considered.
Nobody gives a shit.
No one really considered.
It was just whether or not you were part of the pack or not.
Yeah.
And
if you're into cool shit, no one really cared who you slept with.
And I was in there at that time hanging out with a dude with long black hair like this. He was an ex-Soviet soldier. He was ex-Soviet infantry, and I was ex-American infantry. I showed him to Jen. His name was Vadim Konyev. And he was this fucking badass Russian dude who owned a fucking little computer store. And he fucking had a three-story fucking house filled with fucking strippers. And that's it, and that lived with him.
Literally filled with strippers?
Filled with strippers. There was a stripper in every fucking room.
A stripper in every room?
They were renting rooms from him. He owned the house and fucking rented the room, and he was like, "Tom, I want you to come work for me."
I just read a horror novel.
He goes, Tom, I want you to come work for me. You can live with me and the girls, and you can work at my place. And I was too much of a big shotter. I thought I was at the time. Nah, you couldn't afford me. You know, I was a fucking corporate salesman and shit. I should have fucking done it because fucking the company closed about fucking a year later. But by that time, man, I was too much pride in me. I wasn't gonna go fucking live with Vadim and his whores. But fucking. I was just, I'm bullshitting. And they weren't whores. They were good girls. They were fucking fun. But there were all these gothic strippers in there. I should have done it. Probably would have had a lot of fun time.
Yeah, you probably would have.
I want you to come work with me and this and that. But his company went out of business eventually anyway. It only bought me a couple years. But I showed you pictures of him, and Jenny was like, oh, he's cute. He looked like Antonio Banderas. He looked like a Russian Antonio Banderas. Fucking all gothed out, fucking death rock outfit and shit. And he was a fucking trip, man. We used to get in all kinds of trouble. He was like one of the only dudes I knew in Boston that had a damn fucking Bronco 4x4 assault truck. He had that shit. It was fucking black with a red interior with red fucking lights inside. You know, like the dome lights and all the fucking. It was red. Dear. It's like a vampire fucking 4x4.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fucking cool. Yeah, man, it's good. He had assault rifles and shit.
But it's funny though because it kind of seems like. I don't want to like toot our own horn or anything, but it does kind of seem like even going back to the 80s, the goth scene, the club scene, the new wave, new romantic, all that kind of stuff. I kind of feel like it wasn't a thing. Like whatever your sexuality was, no one really
Nobody gave a shit.
Worried about it.
I see some of these fucking wokies fucking online today fucking screeching about their fucking sexual orientation and their identity and this and that and blowing it out of proportion.
No, it's like that's cool. It's like
so.
they don't feel as accepted as they used to.
I'm like, man, fucking we had Marilyn Manson fucking when we were growing up.
Right, but that was a subculture.
Like
that was a subculture.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that maybe we were like ahead of our time because I kind of feel like in the goth scene,
from our point of view, it was like kind of lame.
Nobody really gave a crap. And honestly, maybe that's why some people are like giving some pushback on that because it's like for us, it was we never cared. So it's kind of like we don't understand like why people have to push back, but they do have to push back you have to think that, like, we're cool with it, but that was, like, you know, going back to the 80s, but that was, like, a subculture.
Yeah.
That's not, like, mainstream culture.
Well, our attitude was just fuck the mainstream culture. They were irrelevant.
That's what I'm saying.
We had our own thing going on.
That's what I'm saying.
We just didn't really care.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, it's easy for us to say, it's like, what are you whining about? But it's like, they didn't, like, grow up in the same subculture that we did.
Well,
it's not, like, as easy for them.
I'll go back to what Toby said. Toby said he doesn't like the mainstream gay scene. He just doesn't like it because they're too much like regular people. He liked to fucking hang out with freaks like us and fucking where he grew up with. And
well, yeah, it's like, I like weirdos. I don't care who it is. If you're a weirdo, like, I want to, like, not a serial killer, but you know what I mean. Like,
I guess you could say
weirdos.
Our generation, mainstream acceptance in our generation was something you didn't want. You weren't looking for mainstream acceptance.
Yeah, you didn't want to, like, you didn't want those people to, like, accept you.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
That's no fun.
You want them to approve of you? Fuck
you wanted them to think you were a weirdo.
Exactly. Exactly. You know, like, no. You didn't want them emulating or copying you, not one bit. You wanted them to not.
Well, that's what I mean. That's why I didn't like when all the shit, like when goth shit went mainstream in like the early 90s.
I talked about that on another show.
Oh, that was a big bummer.
My friend Pierre kicked Marilyn Manson, or would not allow Marilyn Manson into the fucking club.
I get that.
He would let Trent Reznor in.
If I owned a club, I would not have let Marilyn.
Yeah, Marilyn Manson was fucking pissed.
Aw.
Pissed.
Poor
and
Brian.
fucking Trent left with him. We're not coming in then. And fucking
everybody's was like, bye.
Pierre was like, don't want him in here.
Bye.
And he's, I'm Marilyn Manson. He goes, yeah, I know. I don't want you in here.
Yeah, we know who you are. Get out.
We were catching so much flack.
Honestly, I love that, though.
Yeah. We were catching so much flack in those days. It doesn't make any sense, probably, to a person of today. Why would you do that? If you were there at the time,
I
just got bottles thrown at you and people screamed Marilyn Manson at you constantly.
Yep.
And you didn't even really listen to that.
I remember waiting in line at the castle.
Yeah.
And having some, like, yuppie motherfuckers behind me in line waiting to get in. And being like, woo, Marilyn Manson. And I'm like,
fuck Marilyn Manson.
What are you even, like, doing here? Nobody listens to that.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you even talking about?
That's your music, not ours.
Yeah, I was like, fuck off. Nobody wants you in here. It's like, you know what I mean? So
he did have a couple of good songs.
He did. And it's, you know.
We were just talking about Jen and Dimitri. Fucking Dimitri and Marilyn Manson were friends. They came up together down in Tampa. Wasn't it Tampa?
Yeah,
they were DJs together.
Well, Brian Warner, which is Marilyn Manson's real name. He's from here. He's from Central Florida. So a lot of people that we know knew him back then. Yeah,
but looking back on it, fucking...
Thank you, Phil.
Thank you. What did he say?
Talking about sex late. Love you, Jen and Daddy Tom.
Thank you.
We love you, too.
But Brian, or also known as Marilyn Manson, he actually did really well in his time, and he did have some good songs. I couldn't listen to his whole album. At the time, they were too hard. They were much harder than most goth music we were listening to at that time. We were listening to a lot of stuff that was kind of like Dead Can Dance or what was that French band? Die Form. I really liked that.
Yeah.
Switchblade Symphony.
Well, there was a lot more
Tear Garden.
Well, 90s was a lot more like, in the goth scene, it was a lot more like ethereal.
Ethereal, yeah.
It was kind of like where there were two factions. It was kind of like ethereal goth, and then you had like industrial. The harder like industrial goth. Yeah. But even so, like when Marilyn Manson came out, I'm like, bitch, Skinny Puppy, Thrill Kill Kill, Ministry, blah, 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 already did this stuff. So, like, why are you doing it now? Because heard it.
Well, no, he did it. He took something that was good and repackaged it for the mainstream market and made his name known and became wealthy. Had he spent his money correctly, he'd still be wealthy. I don't think he still is anymore. I don't think he's relevant. He might come back, but he's made some mistakes lately. He can't talk. He had a bad drug problem.
Big time.
And I think that's really what...
But I think that was one of the main things that pissed me off. And, adjacently, that was another thing that pissed me off about a lot of, like, indie bands that came out, like, in the 90s and stuff. I'm like, dude, you were just ripping off stuff that happened in the 80s that was, like, underground. Yeah. But now you're taking it mainstream and everyone's, like, talking about you're the best thing since sliced bread. I'm like... bitch, like fucking Skinny Puppy, whoever, have been doing that since like 1981. So where have you guys been?
Yeah, everybody's talking about the same thing. Nobody, Esther and fucking Fourth Row Down, they don't give a shit what your orientation is or who you're fucking.
But that's good. I think that's awesome that like everybody, that it's going toward that. Because like I said, I grew up in the 80s where I was super into new wave. And you know, the early 80s was a big gender bending time. You had like your fucking Eurythmics, you had Annie Lennox like dressing like a dude, you had Boy George dressing like a woman, and it's like us, we're just kind of like, what? Yeah, that's cool, whatever. And it's like we didn't really care about it. Gen X, we didn't care about it.
No.
But I grew up in a time when our parents, not so much my parents, but like my grandparents for sure, were kind of like, are they gay? They're all on drugs. They're all gay.
Well,
it's
they
like,
had to put things in boxes back then.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, why? Like, who fucking cares? Why? Like, why do we care about that?
Well, they were also real. They were real. Remember how, like, our parents and grandparents' generation were? They thought that that clothes and hair had some kind of symbolic meaning.
Yes.
Like, well, what does that mean? You're okay, you're wearing black. What does that mean?
Yeah, I got that all the time. What does that mean? I'm like, it doesn't mean anything other than I think it looks cool.
And it's because their parents in the, you know, who would be our grandparents, for them it did. If you wore yellow on Tuesday, it meant you were gay. I mean, that's one of the things. If you wore black, that meant you were a hood.
Wait, which earring was the earring?
Something meant something.
So I was kind of like,
So it was never really fashion for fashion's sake. And it was never really
you couldn't just like dress like because you thought it looked cool.
No, it had to mean something.
It had to mean something,
right?
Which I didn't really get. I'm like, it doesn't have to mean anything.
Older generations.
I just thought it looked awesome. It doesn't really mean anything deeper than that.
Well, you look at a mainstream one that they would know would be like Prince. Prince was a little black dude, fucking knew how to dress, knew how to fucking sing. Well, actually, I'd call him probably biracial, really. I think I don't know what he identified as. I think he probably identified as biracial. But
maybe, I don't know. Yeah. I don't think he ever brought it up.
It didn't really matter. Nobody cared. And even his gender identity, nobody really cared. Older people would see him and go, well, he's gay. But to me, he was obviously fucking an aggressive heterosexual.
Yeah, obviously.
Aggressively heterosexual.
Obviously.
So
everyone said the members of Duran were gay too, and I was just kind of like, no, those are like aggressively heterosexual. Yeah. I don't know why you don't like see that, but okay.
No, and Nick Rhodes, who would I guess superficially be called the gayest looking one, was the fucking main one. He was the one that fucking really got.
I totally would have hit that. Yeah, he was my second favorite after Simon. Simon was my favorite.
And those dudes only dated supermodels.
Yeah. So obviously, everyone didn't have the same hang-ups as you know.
I think it went back to David Bowie, and we talked about this earlier. David Bowie knew how to fuck with people. And this goes back to the New York Dolls. They knew how to fuck with people. Well, they were basically dressing as women.
Yeah.
For their time.
Yep.
But those dudes were all aggressively fucking heterosexual.
Yep.
And David Bowie was a false homosexual or a false bisexual. He was fucking a closeted straight. He said that. His dying words was, tell them I was a closeted heterosexual. That shit is so fucking funny.
Some of the best
fucking funniest ever.
Even if he didn't say that, even if that's not true, it should be true.
He said it.
Because that's
tell
awesome.
them I was a... what's the name? Iman said that. Iman said his final words were tell them I was a closeted heterosexual. Wait,
that's fantastic.
But what's his name? What's his name? Mick Ronson? Mick Ronson, isn't that his name? The guitar player from the old David Bowie years, the 70s years. He said the same thing. He said he knew how to talk to powerful and wealthy gay men who helped finance his art projects. He had a lot of gay friends, but he said it was fake. He wasn't gay. He was straight.
But like I said, does that really matter?
I don't think it didn't matter.
And honestly, I feel like
he was promoting an ideal and a fucking visual idea that was popular with the gay art scene, and they helped him because I guess you could say it furthered acceptance. It did.
Well, that's the kind of thing. It's like I kind of feel like that was maybe why I mean, growing up for me, I was like kind of privileged in a way because it's like I got into the goth scene where, because I never really saw the point of differentiating. I was just kind of like, man, people just like sleep with whoever, like do what you want to do. It's none of my business, obviously. So it's like, do what you want. And I liked that about the goth scene was that was something that really wasn't brought up.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just kind of like, hey, you know, that, you know, other than like scene gossip, like, oh my God, can you believe like she like fucked that dude and like whatever. And it's like, there was that kind of thing, but it's like nobody really cared about anything beyond that. It was just kind of like no one really gave a shit about what orientation you were. If you just like, oh, I fucked a dude, I fucked a woman, it's like no one really cared about it. And it's like I liked that because, like I said, it's no one's business.
Yeah. So
I didn't really, and even going back to the 80s when I was a kid, and like I said, you know, early 80s new wave was very gender bending. So it was something
visually it was.
Visually, and we kind of got like used to it. So it's like it was not a big deal.
Right.
And no one really like bothered about it because some of those dudes were straight, some of them were gay, and like no one really bothered.
They were just having fun.
No one really bothered about it. Like, was the music cool? Yeah. Okay, that's all anyone really cared about.
Well, you know, the Queen song, what is it? I'd like to be free. Mm-hmm. That was the name of the song. Mm-hmm. He's obviously in drag with the mustache on, doing housework. And that was just something that played on television. And that didn't cause any kind of big stink. I
mean, not with us anyway. Like with older people,
they played that shit fucking on cable, night tracks in Mississippi, and nobody noticed it.
I saw it. Yeah.
People did not care. You hear these kids running around today talking as if 10 years ago was the Dark Ages. They do not understand how sexually fucking free the 70s and the 60s were. It was... Nobody gave a shit. Nobody gave a shit.
I mean, when you got into the 80s, you have to admit, like, shit didn't get shown on TV or in movies. Like, everyone was, like, uptight about it. But that wasn't us. That was older.
They had censors.
Right. That wasn't us, though.
Yeah, they had a group of people called censors that censored things for television. But that wasn't the normal person.
Because, like, okay, so let's have an example. We were at Mannequins.
Yeah.
And he played the Cramp song... Creature from the Black Leather Lagoon.
Yeah, Creature from the Black Leather Lagoon.
Which has really kind of a dirty video.
Yeah.
No nudity, but there's a lot of very, very implied, like, S&M. There's a lot of, like, it's very, very sexual. There's a lot, like, Lux Interior has the...
Yeah, Lux Interior is dressed like a fucking rockabilly with a leather jacket.
He has, like, a little...
thing. He's got fucking a G-string. No, it's a
like
G-string.
Like a leather codpiece with, like, a G-string.
It's a G-string and women's fucking black... PVC pumps on.
Yes.
And his guitar player.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and he's skinny as shit. Look at him, Creature from the Black Leather Lagoon. And he's been attacked by a damn monster. Uh-huh. And his guitar player, Poison Ivy, who is his wife.
Yeah.
Who's in a leopard print thing, who's fucking doing sexual shit on him with the guitar.
Crepes, I have to say.
And you see it today, and it's just funny. You can see it it is funny. You understand what it is that he's doing. He's riffing on the 1950s. He's riffing on monster movies. He's riffing on...
Well, that was kind of their whole thing, is 50s horror movies.
He's riffing on cross-dressing.
Sure.
He's he's probably talking about Ed Wood, I think. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Or, like I said, the New York Dolls had been doing that in the early 70s, just like cross-dressing, all that kind of stuff.
They are fucking with you.
Yeah.
They're fucking with you. Well, that shit was banned. We never saw that on television because they wouldn't play that.
Nope.
But if you see it today, you just see it for what it is. It was just a joke.
Although it's still awesome.
It's fucking awesome. Yeah, but it's fucking funny.
I love that video.
But back in the days, the censors would have go, "Oh no, we can't show that.
We can't show that."
And well, why? Today you look at it, you go, "Well, why not?" That's fucking hilarious. He's obviously fucking joking around. You know what I mean? And they're in a 50s fucking.
It's like a 50s monster movie.
Monster movie with fucking weird gender bending things.
But with Lux Interior wearing
women's
a G-string and
women's
pumps.
shoes. Yeah.
Sure. And Lux Interior could fucking pull it off, man.
Yeah, and he was straight. He was straight.
Well, yeah.
His wife was fucking gorgeous.
Poison Ivy, they were married a long time.
But they're just fucking with you. And they didn't understand that kind of shit back then.
Well, like I'm saying, it's like it was just funny. And it was funny because... like I said, our parents' generation, our grandparents' generation would get so upset about it.
Because they thought it meant something.
That it was funny to just, like, push it in their
Yeah.
faces.
Yeah.
That's why.
You guys can open
funny.
another window and go look at it, man. Called The Cramps. Creature from the Black Leather Lagoon.
I love the fucking
It's a good
Cramps,
song,
man.
too.
I love the fucking
It's
Cramps.
punkabilly. It's like rockabilly, but it's fucking kind of like...
Psychobilly is what they call it.
It's kind of like...
I mean,
kinda
the
like Stray
Cramps
Cats.
were kind of like... I kind of feel like they were the first band that they might have coined the term psychobilly.
It's kind of like the Misfits or kind of like the Stray Cats. And
They were
like
super into 50s rock and roll
Yeah.
and 50s monster movies.
Yeah.
But with a little bit of an 80s sensibility.
Yeah.
I mean, if you haven't heard the Cramps, you really need to hear them. Lux Interior, sadly, passed away several years ago. I saw them live. When did I see them?
Yeah.
2008, I want to say. Maybe.
Tila says...
Oh my God, they were fantastic.
Tila says to Tammy, I don't even know goth culture, but I relate to y'all on a whole nother level, which is rare. Yeah. If you go back in time, goth people were the black people of white people in a certain way.
The black.
We were the black people of white people.
Oh my God. Are you sure? Are you sure you want to make that statement?
Yeah,
Okay.
we were the black people of white people. Well, kind of misunderstood and under attack in a small...
There are a lot of misunderstandings, but
and
not so much nowadays.
not as bad as it was.
But back in the old days,
Not as
there
bad as it was.
Sure.
And there was a lot of misconceptions about what we were about. They project a lot of bullshit on us. There weren't very many of us. It was a small fucking clique. We had a lot of art we had a lot of artistic stuff to offer the mainstream in terms of fashion and music and culture, and those bitches eventually adopted it. They they culturally appropriated a lot of shit.
They did.
From what we do.
Which, like I said, kind of pisses me off. Not gonna lie. Not gonna lie.
There is shit that we would be wearing, and only we would wear it, and 10 years later, those bitches were wearing it.
And I'm like, oh,
And we're like, wait a minute.
fuck, man, now I can't wear that anymore.
They culturally appropriated our
They
shit.
did.
Yeah.
They did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's weird because, like, I've been dressing like this for, like, 15 years. And then I'd be at the mall and, like, some dude would be like, Matrix. And I'd be like, or, you know, Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
They would
like,
point at me and yell at that. I'm like, bitch, do you know how long that I've looked like this?
Yeah.
Do you know that, like, people of my generation,
Right.
like, people my age are making that movie?
Right.
Is that why, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, I guess my point there is, like, don't yell random shit at goths in the mall because they're not going to be happy about it.
Yeah.
I mean, I had that happen several times. I had not so much. I had Beetlejuice yelled at me a couple times. Matrix yelled at me many times. But I was just kind of like, and you know what? I didn't even like The Matrix. I didn't even like that movie.
I liked it. I thought it was...
I saw that movie and I'm like, nah, seen it.
No, at the time that I saw it, it was very innovative. And,
It was, but like, I don't know. I just kind of feel like it was another thing where I had been into this shit since the early 80s. And by the time that came out, I was just kind of like, oh, you guys are now discovering this? Yay. Now you're going to like, now everybody's going to be into this shit and I don't like it. Yeah. So I was just mad. I don't know. I was mad about it. I was the same way that I was like mad when, you know, underground, like alternative music went mainstream, like in 91 with fucking Nirvana. I still blame them for that. But it's just like that whole thing. Oh, now everybody knows who the Pixies are. Goody. I don't know. Mm-hmm. It used to be cool, and now a lot of like douchebags are in our shit. Great.
Yeah.
Great. Now I gotta like contend with this at the fucking clubs now.
So how long have we been streaming?
3 hours.
Man, this has been a good show.
What did we even talk about for 3 hours?
We talked about everything for 3 hours.
Did we?
Yeah.
Look at you.
I know, I'm getting prettier and prettier as time goes on.
You are so beautiful.
I can't understand this shit. I'm gonna take this off. I gotta turn back into my ugly ass self. Okay.
Put one of my wigs on.
No, it's getting hot, man. It's getting hot. No, I'm done with the wigs.
Oh my god, he makes me wear wigs all the time.
It's getting hot.
See, I think you were in the bathroom when I said, but I was like, I'm kind of tempted to like shave my head, but
no, don't shave it. It's good. You got a good mohawk now. It looks cool.
He told me my head would look too fat.
I didn't say that.
Well, that's kind of what you said. I do kind of like the mohawk, though.
No, it looks good. Because we can push that up here in the front.
Yeah, I
move
didn't
it
like
forward.
because I did like kind of tease it in the back.
It's a little bit long in certain areas. I can cut the top of it to make it shorter on the top.
Because see, the thing is, if I want to tease it up, because I can, but I can do that and it would look awesome. But then the next day I'd be like, why? Why did I do this? And then I have to comb all the knots out. That's the only thing about it. It looks cool otherwise.
It's going up on 8 o'clock. I think we ought to let the people go.
You think?
Yeah. Plus, we got shit we can watch and watch some fucking movies.
Watch some fucking movies?
Watch a movie. Did you guys have fun tonight?
Let me finish my
Hopefully you guys have fun. Hopefully everybody had enough to drink.
He's going to put his hat back on.
I'm going to smoke one more.
Okay.
You want another one?
I haven't even had one, but yeah,
Okay.
I would like one.
Smoke one.
I don't like these as much as... I liked the menthol ones, but I have to admit I didn't buy any more because when we got them, and I smoked one at the bar, and the bartender said it smells like dead fish in here.
Yeah, yeah.
Like not knowing what it was.
They don't smell that good.
They don't smell that good.
It tastes all right, though.
Yeah, I couldn't
bought
really...
some of them CBD cigarettes, too. And they were fucking expensive. $20 a pack. Too expensive. I tell you what, though, it's not like weed.
These herbal ones are only like $4.
Yeah.
I get them on Amazon.
But they kind of chill you out, kind of in the opposite way that a cigarette might kind of amp you up a little bit. The CBD cigarettes will kind of like go chill you out for a few seconds and then weak like a cigarette, but it's just weird.
What though? I have never had that reaction though.
Yeah.
When I smoke them, I never feel any different.
Right.
I was like want to. That was like why I smoked pot like a couple times before, because I thought that it would chill me out because I need that.
Yeah. Esther says she's looking forward to the Friday night show. We're going to have a good show on Friday.
Like I said, it's going to be about feral children.
Yeah, Tammy said this is a great show. Tila's saying good night. We're going to be on for a few seconds. We're going to smoke one cigarette with you, and then we're going to close out.
I can't believe we were on 3 hours.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It's like I always kind of like, I'm not like a druggie, but I always kind of like tried different things, hoping that it would like chill me out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I need that. One, I overthink everything, which in a lot of ways isn't bad because I keep all my shit together, which is good.
Go ahead and hit the like button, people, if you can.
Yeah, everybody. And comment too, like later, because that like makes a big difference.
And comment also later.
But I don't know. It's like I just kind of feel like nothing. The few times I smoked pot, it just made me like feel worse. Like it made me feel like even more like paranoid and more like self-conscious.
Yeah, I don't really like weed.
And I didn't like that. Yeah. Like maybe I just like smoked the wrong thing. But I was like, I want something that makes me feel less self-conscious.
Thumbs up or going up. Thank you very much. Went up a couple.
Yeah. Less self-conscious, because I'm super self-conscious. Even when we're at the club, and even if I know everybody, I have to drink a lot before I'll start dancing. And I can dance. I'm not a bad dancer. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not a bad dancer, right? I'm a good dancer, I think.
You don't need to drink to dance.
But
this is the way you're thinking about it. Thank you very much.
That's what I'm saying.
Up or comment.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like especially if, like sometimes a song will come on and I love that song, but nobody's dancing, and I'm just like, man, I'm gonna feel so fucking awkward if I'm the only one out there. Like every now and then I'll go out there if I've had a few.
She's full of shit. She'll be the only person out there dancing. First of the night.
But the whole time.
You're drunk. You'll be out there and be the first person.
Yeah, but the whole time.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm like, do I look like a dork?
You can't tell.
Do I look like a dork?
Phil
Do I look like a dork?
I cannot wait for Friday. I'm healing up after my accident to get to start PT next week. But doing great here. Love this group. Thank you very much. Victor Garcia, he had a very important observation. He said, smoking marijuana made me gay. Victor, man, fucking your insights into the fucking gay
really?
scene, fucking are outstanding.
All right.
Yeah. Gadget says, thanks, podcast guys. Love you, 13 podcast. Love you both. Thank you very much, Gadget.
We love you too.
David June says it's a great group of folks.
It is. We really have like a nice.
Okay.
We really have a nice, like,
yes.
you know,
it's a
group
small
of people
little
here.
family there.
I know, I love it. This is the only show that we do that I don't feel stressed out. Because I don't have to do any research.
Just talk.
I don't do anything. We can just hang out. And I know that if I don't, like, think of shit to say, you will, like, talk for ages.
Right.
And...
Well, we got feedback from the audience, too.
And then, yeah, and, like, I can interact with you guys. And then, like, after a couple of drinks, I won't give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's why, like I said, I'm not a drunk or anything, but...
People hitting the thumbs up. Thank you very much. I still see thumbs up is going up. That's great. Hit it if you guys didn't hit it. Okay.
I'm still mad that when we were at Mannequins, when they played that cramp song, that I didn't go dance. Because it was early. I wasn't drunk enough. No one was dancing.
Yeah.
I thought about it and I didn't. Later, he played Alien Sex Fiend, and I was like, okay, well, I can't just stand here anymore. Yeah. I have to go dance to this.
Yeah. Victor Garcia said, first time I messed around with a dude in high school, we were both stoned. Yeah, it did, man. Fucking weed made you gay, bro. Weed made you gay.
It happens.
Fucking in the goth scene, it wasn't cool for anybody to know what orientation you were. You weren't even supposed to talk about it. You're supposed to let everybody fucking guess.
It was supposed to just, like, stay, like... Guess.
Yeah, you're like...
We were all, like, cryptic.
Yeah, you're not supposed to know. You know what I mean? Supposed to hide the shit. Yeah. You had to look like an equal opportunity action giver.
I kind of feel like the goth scene, and honestly, like, even, like, the Dead Milkmen and stuff like that, like, even made jokes about this in their song... Instant Club Hit, You'll Dance to Anything. I'm just another boring bisexual. Yeah. Because that was kind of like what the goth scene was like at the time. Yeah. Everyone just wanted everybody to think they were bisexual.
Yeah, and then later on...
I'll just sleep with anybody.
Yeah. After that, you had to say, no, we're not sexual, or whatever. We're not an orientation. It's just something gonna happen. You don't know. Once the shit gets played out, shit will get played out. It's better to be fucking unknown, you know what I mean? Where
honestly, I think that's better.
It's better.
It's like Schrodinger's sexuality.
Yeah. It's more
I kind of feel like everybody,
shit.
Well, and honestly, everybody should approach things that way because you never know when you're going to meet a person, whatever orientation they are, that's really going to click with you.
Well, that's what Bowie was talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what Bowie was trying
honestly,
to express.
Honestly, I figured that out when I was like a teenager. And I was just kind of like... That's kind of, you just meet somebody and it's like, if you click with that person and you want to sleep with that person, it's just sleep with that person. It doesn't matter like what fucking gender or whatever. It doesn't matter what they are. It doesn't matter. It's
funny. It kind of goes into a Mobius strip though, because fucking Bowie was doing that, but he was straight. He was just saying, keep your mind open.
Well, and that's all I'm saying.
Keep your mind open.
I mean, you can identify as straight, but it's like every now and then you might meet a person. Like I mostly identify as straight, but sometimes you meet a person and you're just like,
Gramthars going emos, gay goths, or just effeminate, ambiguous goths. Just ambiguous.
I kind of feel like the goth sexuality is ambiguous.
And ambiguous
just all around.
Ambiguous on purpose.
Yeah.
It's ambiguous on purpose. And,
well, we're just sitting back waiting to see what excites us. What excites us? We're not concerned about what it is. We're just waiting for it to happen.
Most of them were straight, though.
Well, yeah.
Most of them were straight. It was
but
it's just part of the game. It was part of the game.
But, like I said, you just kind of like...
Yeah, it was part of the game.
You weren't, like, closed to it.
No.
If something came along that was, like, not what you would usually do, but that was still kind of compelling, you were like, all right.
Most of the girls would mess around. Some of the guys were fucking gay. Some of the guys would mess around. Most of the guys were straight. But you had to keep all that shit close to your vest. You didn't want to fucking be pigeonholed as anything because that just wasn't cool back in those days. Everything had to be mysterious. You had to keep, even though they fucking saw you with girls. They saw what you were doing. But that wasn't proof. You know what I mean? It wasn't
well,
proof.
Because you could be doing other stuff without them knowing
you don't
about
know.
it.
They don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't know.
Because like I said, it was all kind of like you were just like sitting back and watching for something. You never knew when something compelling was going to come along. That's what I'm saying. You just had to keep like shit open.
But here was the fucking weird thing about the scene. Is that if you weren't a goth, you were excluded. You were off the menu.
Well, that's what I mean.
It was only between goths. Like that's what I was saying. It was like a sexual orientation into itself. You couldn't go out with a mundane. You'd get excommunicated.
Yeah, everybody's like, what the fuck are you
What
doing
the fuck?
with that thing?
Yeah. No.
Well,
that would have been considered like a fucking really bad fucking interracial relationship back in the 50s or something. Like,
I mean, I think that's why, I think maybe that's why I related to like some of the John Hughes movies, like Pretty in Pink or Some Kind of Wonderful, because that kind of dealt with people that were like into the alternative scene, like dating, like crossing the divide.
Yeah, and going over to fucking...
And like dating like a yuppie and something, like, and like everybody be like, oh no. Let's not do that. So I kind of like the way that like Pretty in Pink kind of like, even though she ended up with him, which kind of sucked, I don't like that, because he was, let's be real, like kind of a douchebag. But I mean, you know, Ducky was kind of a douchebag too, but not as much. It was, you know, it was a spectrum. But I kind of feel like I like that they at least addressed that.
Yeah.
Because like she brings the yuppie to like the underground, like the punk club or whatever, and everyone's like, oh shit, oh no.
All right, Gramthars says, are some goth guys wolves in sheep clothing, acting gay only to deceive girls to later get in their pants? Yes, hell yes. And I knew one of them. He was a dude from fucking Sweden. He was cool as fuck. He never claimed to be gay. He just kind of had effeminate ways. Okay.
I never really experienced
which
this.
that doesn't necessarily
firsthand. No.
He was a big, tall, good-looking goth guy who had very effeminate ways. He dressed like a dude, though. If you didn't know what was going on, you might think he was gay. But he was a hound, man. But here's the thing: he's not pretending to be gay to get girls. He's just being that way, and girls are coming to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he never made the claim of being gay.
Two different things.
Yeah, he never made the claim of being gay or anything, or never like, well, I'm going to act gay. No, he just is very effeminate in kind of his ways and his look. He was very much into like 1700s looking fashion and fucking. He was wearing men's clothing and fucking like 1700s makeup and the white wigs and the fucking suits and shit. Very much kind of like this dandy, you know what I mean? But no, the fucking girls loved him. You talking about? And he was a hound. And he had money. You know, he bought all that shit before he showed up to Boston. And
well, I mean, like I said, women are going to be attracted to a dude that pays that much attention to what they look like, how they dance. It's like, because they put an effort in.
Right. I guess you could say in those
chicks like dudes that make an effort.
Dudes back in those days would have thought he was gay. Yeah. But the goth girls didn't. They knew what he was doing.
No, you wouldn't. A goth girl would not assume.
They wouldn't assume
that.
He was gay. No.
You wouldn't assume.
Was a hound.
You wouldn't assume that. You wouldn't assume that unless you knew him personally and you knew that he was gay. Yeah. If you just saw him looking like that, you would not assume that immediately.
Not a goth wouldn't.
No.
Nope. But a non-goth would.
Probably.
He would get like, you know, dudes fucking making fun of him and shit.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude.
No.
We would know better.
We would know better.
He's knocking down girls you're fucking paying to see in magazines. Okay. Fucking, you know.
Yeah, like I said, we would know better. I would not assume. I would not assume anyone's sexuality out of the gate just by what they look like.
I'm trying to translate other cultural fucking motifs. You know what I mean? It's the way we see it is not the way you see it, because we've been in the game for fucking 30 years. You know, more 30-something years. Things are not as they appear.
Yeah, I would never assume someone's sexuality from what they look like. Never.
Nope. I mean,
because you can't tell.
Nope. You'd run across some girl, you swear to God that's a butch, and no, it's not. It's a straight girl, but you just wouldn't think that was her thing. That was rare. That was a Boston thing. There was a girl that looked like kind of like a BDSM fucking dominatrix butch, kind of like Jen from Genitorturers, but more kind of masculine looking. She was straight as hell.
Yeah.
But tough.
See, that's what I mean. I would never assume.
Yeah.
I would never assume.
But a straight person probably would.
Yeah, they probably would. Yeah. But I never would.
I call them straight. A mundane
would
probably think that was a lesbian. No, not at all.
But like I said, that was one thing I always liked about the goth scene, going back to the 80s, is that there was just, everyone just kind of dressed the way they wanted, and no one assumed anything about their sexuality. You know what I mean? It just wasn't, Nobody said, hey, you're this or hey, you're that. Everyone just like kind of took you as you were, which I kind of feel like you should do with all people.
It was
honestly.
It was all just a group of friends that had fun with each other, that really in the end didn't take a lot of this shit seriously. There were cultural rules that you really weren't supposed to break. But in the 70s, this was still going on in places like England, in the same scene that brought out the Sex Pistols and Billy Idol and Susie. And it was a scene like that, or a scene kind of like Studio 54 in New York, but that was more disco. This was a similar scene, but going into a different direction. It was the goth scene. And it was kind of better when it was a smaller scene and kind of new and a little bit exclusive.
Well, you kind of knew everybody.
You knew everybody.
At least at secondhand.
And you couldn't just show up and get into these clubs. They'd look at you at the door and go, we can't let you in. Not dressed like that. Nowadays, in most places, they'll let anybody in. But back in the day, like a man race, if you just didn't fit the part, you weren't going to get in.
Well, because the thing you had to realize was that, back in the day, the goth scene, it was just like gay clubs and stuff like that. You couldn't just let anybody in because you didn't know if they were going to cause trouble.
Yeah.
You didn't know if this was like some person that was going to like go in there and like start beating people up or something like that.
And in Boston, there was maximum capacity. So you couldn't let a mundane in when goths were trying to get in.
Yeah.
Because once it got up to maximum capacity, you couldn't let any more people in.
And the thing about it, too, is that, if we're calling them that...
Some people weren't told they couldn't come in. Some people were saying, you have to wait here.
Yeah.
Until everybody else comes. And now it's full. And then they go, okay, we can take 20. Get 20 of those. You can come in.
And, I mean, the thing about it, too, is that... Particularly, I think there's a lot of overlap here between the goth scene and the gay scene, but like going back to the old days, sometimes clubs were the only place you felt safe.
Yeah, and there was no internet, so the club was our version of social media.
That's what I mean. So that's kind of the only place you could get together with other people, and you knew that you weren't going to get picked on. You could like meet other people that were the same as you. So it's kind of like you didn't want a lot of like people that would normally pick on you, like normal people, like invading that space. You know what I'm saying? So it was like a similar kind of thing. So for a time, there were dress codes like to keep those people out.
She's referring to the South. The Northeast wasn't like that.
Well, yeah, the South was kind of like
that. In the Northeast, people wouldn't pick on goths.
Down here, they did.
Yeah. No, up north, they didn't give a shit. You might have some people laugh at you, but that's not the same as picking on you. And it's just so it's a different scene than what she's talking about. Like in the 90s, the goth scene was fucking pretty exclusive. People kind of wanted to go in it even if they knew about it. The people that knew about it wanted to go see it, but they couldn't let them in because the clubs were only a certain size, and once it was filled to capacity, you couldn't let any more people in.
Yeah,
and there were enough goths to almost kind of halfway or 3/4 of the capacity to fill it. And the mundanes were let in after all the fucking regulars had shown up.
Yeah.
Basically. That's what it was. So, and that was kind of what was going on in Studio 54. Back in the disco days. You had to be dressed a certain way. All the regulars went in first, and then they'd go down through the line of people waiting, and then they would go, we'll take that one, and we'll take her,
yeah,
we'll take
do
her.
you look okay? Do you look okay?
And it's because they'll only take a certain amount of people because you can't fit everybody. They won't fit in there.
Well, and there's some people that are probably you don't want to let in.
Right, yeah. Well, yeah, some of them they'll just kick away. No. Go find somewhere else. We're not letting you guys in.
Well, see, and that was
the one thing. But all the hot
thing,
girls or the guys who are just kinda, they maybe...
Because hot girls, I mean, that's going to bring in like other people. You know, that's always a good thing to have in your club. Right. And to be honest with you, like, girls are probably not going to cause as much trouble as dudes.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Right.
But one thing that used to piss me off about like the castle back in the day was that I kind of felt like when they let normal people in, which they did sometimes, not a lot, because back when I used to go, like, there wasn't, nowadays in Ybor City, there's this huge there's all these restaurants and other clubs, like, right there. The castle used to be a little bit, like, off the beaten path, so you didn't get so many people just, like, wandering in, because not a lot of people came down that way. But It used to make me mad because I'm like, bitch, it's like, you, like, normal people, I guess, it's like you have all these clubs. I mean, Ybor City, like 7th Avenue, like, you have all these clubs you can go to. We have one. Like, why do you want to, like, come and invade ours when we're here, like, having a good time, and you come in here and you're, like, making fun of us and stuff, and it's just kind of like, man, we had one place. You guys have all these places you can go. Yeah. There's your meat market. There's your this. You can do whatever you want to do. Why you got to like invade this one place? This is the only place that we have.
Yeah.
And that used to like really, really make me angry. Yeah. That's why I didn't like them in there.
That's a southern experience.
Yeah.
I didn't really have that up north. You know what I mean? And by the time I came to the south, goth had been around for so long, it became a fixture. So the problems are not... The problems we used to have in the 90s, I mean, they're not there anymore.
It's not the same now as it used to be. And honestly, when I was growing up, like I said, I grew up in the South, so it was probably a lot different than what you experienced. You know, but we didn't have, you know, us weirdos didn't have all that many places to hang out. Yeah. So it's kind of, and normal people had a bunch of places to hang out. They had like endless nightclubs you could go to. Just go to one of those. Why do you want to come to this place and fuck with us when this is the only place that we have like to have a good time and not get laughed at for a change? And it was just kind of like, so that was another thing that kind of like fueled us being angry about it. That's all.
Okay, so I think we've been on long enough and we finished this cigarette. It's time to shut this shit down, Jenny. People are fucking starting to go ahead and sally out of here anyway, so.
All right. And I probably got to go to the bathroom. Yeah. And probably we should get some food.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like I'm kind of hungry.
So go ahead and hit that like button. And if you haven't done that, go ahead and
hit the like button.
Share, and subscribe. And we will be back here. When's our next show?
Friday.
We
are doing a show about feral children.
We'll do feral children. We'll drink again. And we'll talk about the feral children. It'll be cool. So we'll see you guys next Friday.
Yeah, Friday night at 6 p.m. Thanks, everybody, for dropping by. Thanks for super chats.
Yep.
Thanks for hanging out with us on this Wednesday night. Hopefully we were pretty coherent.
Have a nice night.
We'll see you guys Friday evening, and we'll be back then. Bye.